Yo, 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 what is good? It is Threadguy, and we are back again in New York City with a very special episode and very special guest. It's been a long time coming. We got that big homie Ansem on the fucking pod. Ansem, how you doing, bro? Thanks for coming.
What it do, bro? What it do? Nah, thanks for setting us up.
It's been a long time in the making.
Yeah.
And I feel like the timing on this is pretty good, too.
Yeah, when we first linked in, like, Denver, right?
I think Denver, yeah.
With Banks
With
and
Banks,
crew,
yeah.
the whole squad. Man, I feel like since then, hella shit has fucking happened, bro.
I feel like right now more than ever, I feel the trench is needed, too.
Yeah, facts. No, facts.
Yesterday was fucking maybe the meme coin bottom. I don't know what that is. Pump Fun, infamous stream. We'll talk about it a little bit, but there's a lot going on. We got a lot to cover. Honestly, enough time to cover it as well. But how are you feeling though? All in all, before we get into anything specific, like where's your head at right now?
Man, I'm feeling great. I mean, for me, this has been the best cycle I've had, like, by far, comparatively to the other ones. Just I've been in crypto since 2017, so I guess this is my third one. And yeah, cycle's gone pretty well for me trading wise. The internet and like CT and shit has been up and down, a little get crazy because I went from fucking like 100K followers in December to almost 500K now. And on the way up, that shit has been kind of wild. But cycle's been great for me personally.
Do you feel like your follower count is like a decent gauge on how many new people are being brought in?
Yeah, I honestly do. Like when it started slowing down, because at one point, I don't even know how many I was getting, like, 6 months? And it was like what, 400K? So like close to like 70, 60K a month. Something stupid. But like, so it was really stupid. But like at one point it started slowing down, like the week, because you look at it week to week, you have the 7-day, the 28-day. And at one point it started like slowing down a bit. And I was like, what, like March, April. Yeah. And I'm like, okay, we might be a little like concentrated or whatever. But yeah, you honestly can tell. And then it started picking up again a little bit recently. It's a pretty good retail indicator, because if you look at last cycle, it was accounts like Moon Carl and all those guys, like their accounts were fucking insane. And then it's like when they plateaued, it's like, okay, well, how many other people gonna sign up for Bybit or whatever? But yeah, for sure.
So it's a bold question, but if you got to put a pin on it right now, what inning are we in this cycle, and are we still in a bull market?
Yeah, I say like 2 or 3, honestly.
2 or 3?
2 or 3.
I like that. I like that a lot.
I think we're still early. The reason I say that is, like, we haven't had that much happen yet. And when I have people ask me, like, do you think the cycle's over? Do you think we're in a bear market? It's like in previous cycles, we used to go through the rotations of like all the different altcoins. Like if you look at Total 3, which is the market cap of all altcoins, that has made a higher high literally every cycle since inception. And in that Total 3, like all the alts, you have different sectors of altcoins. You have DeFi, DePIN now, AI stuff, L1s, L2s, GameFi, like memes, a bunch of different areas. And typically in a bull market, all of those areas, or at least some alts in all those different areas, will have their own bull market, their own cycles. And right now, you haven't really seen that much pump like across the board. Like Solana has gone crazy, obviously. Meme coins have gone crazy, obviously. Some AI stuff, but like DeFi hasn't really moved. L2s haven't really moved. Like DePIN, I guess some stuff, maybe Helium's done okay. But there's not been that much like froth across the board. And I think that's dangerous for me, because like that's my mapping. Like I'm always thinking that's gotta happen like every cycle. And if that doesn't happen, then I'm gonna get caught off guard, obviously. But I think a lot of people are kind of expecting that. Like you haven't really seen that much go crazy outside of just Solana and like memes. So
because last cycle was my first. But I feel like last cycle when we like topped, it was like belligerent fuck you in your face, like NFTs, Bored Apes at $500,000. Like it was like screaming, like every single just like crazy thing that could have happened. And I agree with your sentiment that this cycle, it doesn't feel like that much new, just like out of this world shit has happened. Like even like the celebrity stuff, like which we'll talk about, that happened last cycle. Like Steph Curry was rocking a Bored Ape. Like Eminem, Jay-Z had a punk profile picture. Like Eminem was rocking a Bored Ape. Like that stuff happened last cycle.
Yeah, and celebs were talking about, I remember celebs were talking about Doge early last cycle. In like January, February 2021.
Elon was on SNL, like.
Yeah, like I think Doge first run up when it like did its first 10x in January 2021, and then a few people hopped on it pretty heavy and went sideways for a bit, and then in like May is when it eventually topped out. So like the public perception phase, I think is going to look different this cycle regardless because of how loud TradFi is about crypto. Like you have Larry Fink and BlackRock and all these people who have their ETFs on Bitcoin and Ethereum hard shilling crypto and like the future of crypto. So obviously there's going to be more people that just know about crypto generally, I think, compared to other cycles where it's like, it's kind of like typically what happens is when all these new people get into crypto that never talked about crypto before, we end up topping out. So it's like there's nobody left to buy after that. Like who else is going to learn about crypto? But I think you can bet on the passive flows with these ETFs being pretty constant and the attention being pretty constant. It's not just like a flash in the pan as it usually is.
How does the TradFi adoption change how high and crazy you think crypto can get like this cycle?
Yeah, I mean, my mental model for that is like, if you look at where gold's at, I want to say it's around like 13 trillion market cap or somewhere around there. Bitcoin is only 1.2, around 1.2 trillion. So if you think about all these people, BlackRock manages what, 10 trillion on its own. Like that's just one entity. But all these people who have assets with all these TradFi guys, they're like, oh, I have gold, I have real estate, I have my stocks. Let me put 1% in Bitcoin. Let me put 2% in Bitcoin. I think there's going to be a lot of people who just keep doing that. And the mapping between like gold and Bitcoin is a pretty strong one in my opinion. So it's like you have stocks that typically just go up and to the right because it's all this money that just needs to go into something. That same situation should happen with crypto. I think Bitcoin and Ethereum are both like the first instances of that happening. Yeah.
I know you had like a legendary coin trade, which you can talk about a little bit. Are you deep in like stocks right now and assets outside of crypto?
Not super deep. I mean, I have diversified a little bit. Actually bought Galaxy recently.
Okay,
Galaxy, I think, is another good one. I have some Robinhood. I have some Coinbase. But yeah, I haven't diversified super hard out of crypto yet. Like I'm still heavy crypto. I think it's the fastest horse.
It feels like my timeline is getting so frustrated and chopped right now. It's becoming like stock Twitter.
Yeah, I know. And that always happens when like we're about to bottom. It always happens like that about the bottom out. We're like, yo, fucking SPX, ES, and NASDAQ is back almost at all-time highs, and Bitcoin's not moving yet. It's like, fuck, why am I trading this instead of trading the other shit?
I'm seeing more NASDAQ charts than fucking Bitcoin.
Yeah, no, legit, bro, legit. And there's good traders on CT now that trade all these different asset classes and then when that happens, it's like people see everything across the board. But yeah, I mean, typically I remember what happened in 2020. When COVID happened, stocks ripped way harder than crypto at first. Like they ripped way, way, way harder. And then it wasn't until later in the year in 2020 when crypto eventually caught up to stocks. So I'm not too worried about like stocks outperforming. I think when you have that situation of stocks doing well and the economy doing well, then crypto kind of lagging, that's usually fine. The issue is when like if stocks do well and then they top out and start pulling back and crypto is already weak, it's like, well, obviously
we're like triple weak.
Yeah. So, but generally I think it's not really a bad thing.
So how do you see where we're at in this cycle right now in 2024 compared to the prior ones that you've been through?
Man, I've changed my opinion on this a lot. I think what Kobe said recently is probably the closest right now, like the echo bubble type of thing, where it's like you had a pretty strong rally, like almost V rally for a good beginning part of the year. But not all alts made new all-time highs. Like I don't think Bitcoin didn't make new all-time highs. Ether make new all-time highs. And then the rest of that year was just like more sideways, more chop, like basically downtrend. And then eventually like later in 2020 is when shit ripped. And I think in 2024, we also have a lot more mind share than we did back then in 2019. Like 5 years has passed since then. So there's like a lot more proof of concept that crypto is going to stay, I think, around for a longer period of time. I'm actually really, what I'm really interested in is what this cycle is going to be the equivalent of like NFTs and DeFi last cycle. Because nobody ever can see it coming. Nobody's going to be like, oh, NFTs are going to what, $500K for a Bored Ape? It's crazy. Nobody thought DeFi on Ethereum was going to be as big as it was if you're in like 2018. nobody was thinking there's going to be billions of dollars on chain on ETH in 2020, 2021. And I think there's always something that pops off like that with alts that nobody really sees coming, and then it just like boom hits. Like memes are kind of one thing that hit pretty hard this cycle, but we've seen Dogecoin, we've seen SHIB, we've seen stuff like that before.
Do you think that like X factor sector, like DeFi to NFTs, does it have to change every cycle?
I don't think it has to change, but it's like that new thing that nobody has ever seen before is going to be the thing that goes the most parabolic. It goes the most parabolic because there's nothing to map it to. It's like I have no idea how high any of this shit can go. I have nothing to reference, and then just people speculate on it super hard. Whatever, like in crypto, every time something new comes up like that, the speculative premium on it goes just insane. It's just crazy. And like DeFi is in a spot now where there are a lot of crypto protocols that are making good revenue, like have teams or have solid like foundation runway, all that. But they haven't really led that much compared to other altcoins yet. But if you look at 2019, 2020, AB did like a fucking 2000x or whatever it was. It was the first time anybody ever seen anything like that. So it definitely gets complicated, but the new thing is always the stuff that goes the craziest.
So you're saying it could be meme coins on Tron?
yeah, it could be meme coins on Tron. Yeah, Sundog. What? Sundog is the one right now. Oh my god, bro.
So
Sundog.
you pretty publicly flipped bearish not that long ago in like a pretty decent spot.
Yeah.
What was like the thesis and how risk on are you right now?
When I flipped bearish right after the Ethereum ETF flipped from 20% to 80%.
Okay.
And it was like there was a 20% chance of ETH ETF getting approved. And it was at like 3.2 or 3.3 or something like that. It flipped to 80%. They're like, yo, they're actually approving this. All the analysts were like, yeah, 80% chance. And ETH immediately went from like 3.3 to 3.9 and was hanging right around the yearly highs, like right around the yearly highs. And I flipped bullish then. I was bullish. And I was like, I thought everything was going to go to new highs. I thought Bitcoin was going to go like 75K. I thought ETH was going to go like 4.5. I thought Solana was going to new highs. I thought everything was going to go to new highs and the memes, everything. And then that week, nothing really moved.
Nothing moves.
And then it was like a second week and everything just like hanging right around the highs. And I'm like, there's no way we had all this good news. We have like the regulatory stuff starting to look good. We have the presidential candidates talking about crypto. We have Larry Fink shilling this shit on the news. We have ETF flows on Bitcoin that are consistent and high. And we had all these good things happening at the same time. And we're just like sitting right at range highs, like not passing through range highs. And that's when I flipped bear. I was like, well, I think there's a possibility that Bitcoin and ETH chop around and memes keep running because I thought memes were just going to keep running. I've seen that happen where majors chop, go sideways, and then like mid-cap alts do well. So that was my first thesis. Like, okay, I think that's what's going to happen. I'm going to hold most of my SOL, most of my memes. Maybe I'll hedge ETH and then see what happens after that. And then memes like pumped a little bit and then they came back down too. And I was like, yeah, well, I think everything's just gonna go down. Because we hadn't had a big pullback yet then either. All the Bitcoin pullbacks were like 15%, maybe 20%. We had no real like 30, 40% crash yet. And I was like, well, if this is like people are gonna get caught off guard, it'll be right here. That's why I flipped bear. I wrote like that long post. I was like telling people you should either I was like, we're at range highs, you can either sell some, buy back range lows, you can hedge with something else. Or if you don't do anything, your portfolio is going to be down like 40% if we pull back here, and you're going to be like, "Well, I don't want to sell support."
So
it's like, what do I do now? So I de-risked some. Then I actually bought some when it pulled back and flipped bull and then flip. I've been flipping back and forth, but yeah, I did a good job of like protecting myself at that. I think it was like early June. Right now, I'm not that risk on right now. I'm just kind of waiting. I think being patient here is going to be key. I'm still super bullish going into like end of the year and late 2025, but yeah, I think the key here is just like kind of waiting on shit to play out.
What are your biggest bags right now? Like, what are you deepest in outside of Soul?
Soul.
Yeah, mostly Soul.
Mostly Soul. Soul is like super safe to me. And the thing is with Soul is like, if I'm bullish Soul, I'm also bullish Soul against other pairs. So if I'm bullish Soul ETH and I think Soul ETH is going to break out, then I can hold spot Soul and then be short ETH, and I'm like still long that ratio. So I'm kind of like more delta neutral. But yeah, Mostly Sol. I mean, what do I have? I have some helium. I still have Whiff. Have some other memes.
Bro, you're the sole ETH #1 public enemy. I swear to
No,
God.
they do not like me, bro. They do not like me, bro. I was pushing that so hard last year, and everybody was like, "There's no way." I mean, yeah, it's still like right near all-time highs right now.
So if we're in inning 2 or 3 of this bull market, what are the biggest narratives you think haven't played out yet that you're confident will play out?
Biggest narratives I haven't played yet. I think one that people aren't paying a lot of attention to right now. So all the L2 tokens have done like really poorly this year, like really, really poorly. And ETH sentiment is also, I think, shifting kind of negatively right now. My thesis for L2s has always been that EVM L2s don't make that much sense. Mm-hmm. It's like if you're going to build a blockchain specifically in the purpose of it needs to do more performant than ETH L1, be more like performant execution-wise, then you shouldn't be using the EVM. You should be using like some other alt VM where the roll-up will be able to process more transactions and cheaper. So I think that's going to be an interesting area. Like those L2s, the alt VM L2s is going to be interesting. I also think DeepN is pretty slept on, like the decentralized physical infrastructure networks, and those are big on Solana too. It's kind of why I have Helium. That's the use case where like it makes a lot of sense to people outside of crypto. It's like, well, that's a lot cheaper if we're able to use all these resources from all these different areas and use incentive alignment to get them all on the same page. I think that's a big one. What else? What else do I think is big? I think people have kind of under-indexed on the shift from centralized exchanges to decentralized exchanges this cycle. Like a lot. Like if you look at the ratio of how many people are trading on-chain versus on centralized exchanges, it's pretty like significant this cycle. And there's a lot of teams also focusing on that, like not just AMMs, but also being like perps and all stuff like that on chain, because now we have the infrastructure that's good enough to compete more closely with Binance and other exchanges like that. But I think that's another area that could do well.
Hey, what do you think happens to SocialFi from here?
Social, bro.
It's one of my favorite. Like I'm a social maxi. I was huge on FriendTech, huge on Fantasy Top. Like I've been deep in all these fucking apps, but it hasn't really played out.
I love SocialFi, man. I mean, you had Elon on the other day, Pump Guy. I think they're crushing it. I mean, for me, meme coins are like the primitive for all SocialFi. It's like all that meme coins are really showing is that people are super big on the community aspect of buying and selling things. Like you're competing with people in a group or organizing in that way. And it's also like everybody wants to launch tokens. Like everybody wants to launch tokens. We're like, no matter what it is, like I think the ability that crypto has to financialize literally anything is a superpower. And if you're looking at how I think it's close to the trend of gambling that you have in like sports betting and other areas. Like obviously if you're betting on a coin under 50K market cap, under 100K market cap, your hit rate's not that high. It can't be that high, because if it was that high, then everybody would have a ton of fucking money. But I think that area where it's like you can financialize anything that goes viral or goes popular, there's some social app there. I mean, Pump Fund might be literally that app, but there's some app there that's going to capitalize and continue to capitalize on that.
Yeah.
And I think people have some qualms with like how much money they're taking from the Sol ecosystem right now, but that's stuff that always changes. The thing that happens in crypto is like, if there's some incumbent that's making a ton of money, has clear product market fit, and the like community of people thinks that they're raking the community too hard, somebody's gonna pop up and compete with them super hard, or the team is gonna shift what they're doing and be like, oh, we need to give some of this money back, or we need to make our app better in a way that everybody fucks with us more. Like that's just the way it's gonna work in crypto. It's way too easy to fork stuff and build stuff in similar ways. Like that's always gonna happen. Like it's the end state is always gonna be the most efficient.
Is that OpenSea Blur? Yeah,
it's the same type situation. Yeah, for sure.
All right, so you brought it up. I know everyone wants to hear meme coins. Let's fucking talk meme coins, meme coin super. Let's get to it a little bit. So honestly, yesterday was one of the most bizarre days I've maybe ever seen in crypto.
That's crazy. Crazy shit.
Pump on live stream. If you saw it, you know. If not, we don't have to get too deep. But there's been narrative that's been getting thrown around a lot about Pump Fund. I guess my question for you, we can start ripping it here, is Did pump fund kill meme coins?
No, I would say no. I don't personally don't think pump fund killed meme coins. I don't think they killed meme coins at all. And I do still think the meme coin super cycle is a thing. Like, I think that they're going to continue to be great beta to all these L1s, and obviously L2s too. But I think what people don't realize is like how hard meme coins rip. Like, bro, shit went from 100K, 1 million to multi-billions, multiple different coins in like 3-4 months. Whenever some shit happens like that, you're going to have a cool off period where shit goes sideways. Like, the accumulation after stuff like that has to happen, or shit will come all the way back down. Like, there's shit that will go straight up and straight back down, or there's shit will go straight up and then sideways and then go up again. But that happens with any asset in crypto. It's like, that's not a specific thing for memes or meme coins. Like, DeFi did the same thing. If you look at the Yearn chart, it looks just like the Bowden chart.
Damn, Bowden, bro.
It's the same thing. Like, if you look at Doge last cycle, Doge did like a 10x, went to like a few billion, and then January 21 to like April 21, sideways, and then it ripped again and like it did another 10x. Yeah. It's just how these things trade. But I wouldn't say pump fund is the reason that meme coins are dead. I mean, there's still a lot of multi-billion market cap. It's not dead. Like, they've still outperformed every other altcoin sector by far.
And we were joking about it, but even the Tron thing is happening right now. Like, there's opportunity sort of everywhere.
Yeah, it's like Tron. The Sundog's at like 200 million or something.
Like, I heard about it for the first time like last night.
Yeah, bro, I remember I think I was outside when I saw it for the first time. See, I shouldn't have been drinking. I was out with some people. And I saw like some people just talking about Tron. I was like, Tron, bro, meme coins on Tron.
Yeah, what the fuck are you talking about?
Bro, I'll check this shit on Monday. and yeah, that shit is gone literally from like 0 to 200 mil.
I thought it was a joke because the first person I saw tweet about it was Base 16Z.
Yeah, I know.
He's trolling.
Always trolling people. Always trolling people.
So, do you believe in a meme coin super cycle like you did on the initial whiff run up?
Honestly, I believe in it more now than I did before the whiff happened.
Interesting.
Because like my original thesis on why Bonk was gonna do well, I mean, was because Bonk was the only beta on Solana, really. Like, there weren't a lot of altcoins on Solana. I've been preaching that if you're using Solana DeFi, you're gonna get paid out eventually because nobody's using this shit. Like, they're gonna drop tokens eventually, and that should happen. Like Jupiter, Jito, like all those protocols.
Cooks.
Yeah, they were cooks because nobody was using the protocols. That's what I was trying to say. I'm like, bro, nobody is using these right now. So if you use them, you got paid out. But that was before they dropped tokens.
Yeah.
And it was when Solana had just started to move past like $30, like that range it was in for like a year, like 15 to 30, and it broke out. And then it was like, okay, well, Solana's ripping harder than everything else. I knew people were going to bridge over to Solana. When people bridge over to Solana, what are they going to buy? Bonk. Okay, it's like, you've seen Doge go crazy, you've seen SHIB go crazy, you've seen Pepe go crazy. Okay, it's not that crazy for a meme coin to rip as beta to Solana. So that was like the thesis for that trade on Bonk. And then it was like, well, I still think activity is going to stay on Solana. And at that point, it was just like looking for stuff that's going to move. But yeah, I think since then it's strengthened my thesis on like the meme coin super cycle because they've outperformed so many other different altcoin sectors. And that's not to say that like stuff won't go down. Everything that goes up like 100x, 1000x is going to come back down. Happens with any altcoins in crypto. But I do think from here, if you're thinking like towards the end of the bull market, you're still going to see them outperform.
Do you think we actually need like retail to buy our memes?
I think we have retail buying our memes.
Really?
No, I think we have retail buying our memes right now, for sure. I think that like what's the first leg, which is like 1 mil to like 500 mil plus, that's typically driven a lot by CT native capital. Yeah. For stuff to go super viral and go like past 10 billion, then obviously it's got to be like super widespread. Yeah. Like everybody has to know about like stuff for shit like that to happen. Like when Doge went to fucking 80 billion. It's like Doge can't go to 80 billion unless a ton of people have like, I'm gonna buy $10, I'm gonna buy $100, I'm gonna buy 1,000. Like Elon was so loud about Doge that there wasn't anybody that didn't know about Doge. So yeah, I think you do need retail to like the next level.
Do you think we see a meme coin this cycle surpass Doge all-time high?
80 billion, 100 billion, man. I think so last cycle we went to 3 trillion, right? That was a total like all crypto market cap 3 trillion. If people are right about the total crypto market cap going to 10 trillion, then I think that's possible. Like, you could see something go absolutely stupid like that. Like, a lot of the Solana people right now, I think people are talking like 0.1 ETH, 0.2 ETH. But if that shit gets like really, really close to whatever ETH's market cap is, then yeah, you're gonna see some wild shit happen for sure, 100%.
It feels like at some point it has to happen.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Also at this point, like, I know it's the OG, but Doge is kind of washed, bro. Like, who do you know is actively, like, I know there's a little run, like Moon Overlord, all those guys. Lolly was big on it for a little bit this cycle, but like, who's on the timeline like championing Doge?
Nobody, bro. I mean, nobody. The mind share from all the old like memes compared to the new ones is like way, way, way lower. And there's a lot of old money in crypto, I think, that usually moves Doge. But if you look at Elon posted a Doge meme like 2 days ago.
Yeah.
During the DNC or whatever it was.
Yeah.
It didn't even move.
Nobody cares. Yeah.
It didn't even move at all. That's like one of the signs. It's like it's the same thing where you have like good news with Bitcoin and ETH and they don't move. When you have something like that, that's like an event that should move that and it doesn't move, it's like, it's a sign.
So what do you think when you see these guys like, my favorite account is like Crypto Donald. So good.
Yeah.
It's hilarious. What do you think when you see these like OG guys, probably a lot of your homies, flip terminally bearish, what feels exclusively because like the meme coin run? Like they see what's happening in meme coins and they're like, fuck this shit, I'm out. This is bearish, like we're done, crypto's over.
Yeah. I think it's a valid opinion to have because the reason that they have that opinion is because typically memes and like the most degen alts pump at the end of the cycle. It's like that's usually what happens. It's like furthest down the risk curve when memes and all that stuff is pumping, that's when shit's about to top. We're about to be like topped out. But this cycle, we haven't had. There was nothing prelude to that. It was just like memes, Solana and then memes. There was no other sectors that really ripped hard. That's why I kind of said earlier, I think we're in the second or third inning, because they went like first out of everything.
Yeah.
And I think that's why I'm like more confident that it's not like super top to I guess the global top for the cycle. And also Bitcoin and ETH haven't passed their all-time highs yet. That's crazy. That would be crazy if we top for the cycle.
Right. How would you even call that the cycle?
Like that would be insane. I mean, that's like the echo bubble. That's like no way.
Echo bubble, yeah.
No way. I mean, and I'm not even an ETH bull, but there's no ETH doesn't go past. That would be crazy.
ETH make an all-time high?
How it has to go past all-time high.
Are you betting on it?
Bro, like, I mean, I'm not gonna be holding a lot of it, but I would be super surprised if it doesn't go past. That would be crazy, especially with the ETF and everything. That's nuts.
All right, so if Pump Fund didn't kill meme coins, what do you think that Pump Fund did to the meme coin sector?
I mean, it definitely diluted the low cap ones.
Yeah.
So I think right now you have a lot of differentiation where you have the bigger ones like Mock Whiff, like Popcat, the bigger memes, which are kind of already established. And then you have the smaller memes, which are like new launches and all those. There's just so many of them now. There's so many new launches. So it's like back then when the Solana like trenches first started really, really popping off, you could have memes just like sitting at 100K market cap for like days, weeks, like whatever. You don't really see that happening now. It's like if you're one of the communities that's like active, you're not sitting at 100K. No. Like Whiff was sitting at 100K for like 2 weeks.
It's like you're ripping or you're dumping.
Yeah, like it's like zero or like
yeah.
Yeah, I think it did affect the lower market cap coins for sure.
So in this current like Pump Fund froth, like how would you find the next whiff? Like the next whiff? Like how would you find the next meme coin that rips to 100 mil, 500 mil, a bill, multi-billions?
That's a good question. I need to answer that shit myself, bro.
That's what the trenches wants to know. Bro.
Right.
How do you find the next whiff?
Yeah, I mean, for me, I always look at the ones that are in the like 5 to 10 market cap range. I also look for ones that are kind of different from all the other memes. Like we have a lot of dogs, cats, whatever. And if the leaders aren't like, they're kind of capped, right? Like if you have a something that's this next this or the next XYZ,
course.
It's kind of capped by that, whatever the current market cap is or the ceiling of that. If you have something new and different, that's like not like any of those, it's not the next anything, and it's like if a community forms around something like that, that's when I think you can see something like a crazy runner kind of happen in that way. That's the way I think about it. Yeah, but yeah.
To sort of round out the meme coin topic, if you're like pre-make it right now, like you didn't make 10 mil, you didn't make 5 mil, you didn't make a mil this cycle, does it make sense to be hyper focused all in on a meme coin trading? Or are there like other places you should be paying attention right now?
Nah, I mean, I wouldn't say be all in on memes. I still say the best portfolio makeup for anybody that's new to crypto is to have like 70% of your safe stuff, which is like, for me, it's like Solana, but it can be Bitcoin, Ethereum, Coinbase stock, like Solana. Those are all like relatively safe plays, depending on who you ask. But it's like, you don't want the crypto space to mark up 5x from here, and you were gambling on 100K coins with your entire portfolio, and you don't even see any of the markup. I think that's like a lot of people, some of the people that are angry right now, that's kind of what they did, and stuff ripped, and they just don't have anything to show for it really. So I think you kind of have that part of your portfolio where it's like the longer term where you don't really touch, and it's like the 30% you can be as degen as you want. So I think meme coins are obviously a good area to look if that's like the most speculative, if you're looking at like 1 mil, 5 mil type coins. But then also, I think that there's alpha in looking for altcoins that are down a lot from their highs, or like our newer altcoins coming out this cycle and don't really have a lot of attention on them right now. Because right now, all the attention is on memes. Literally all the attention is on memes. There's not a lot of people looking in other areas. And I think if you're able to do that, do your own like fundamental research and find which altcoins are good buys there, that's also a good spot to be spending your time. Because, I mean, that's what I did with like Solana last year. Everybody thought this shit was dead. It was like over after FTX. And a few people took that trade and ended up wanting to be in the best trades this cycle. So there's always going to be plays like Sol like that happen. Because people don't do that. People don't do a lot of their own research in crypto, and people are super heavy driven on momentum and what everybody else is talking about.
Yeah.
So like when stuff gets a lot of attention and momentum, the way it moves is super, super fast. Like people pivot super quickly. But if you're able to find those plays before they actually happen, that's how you hit like 100x.
So do you think we see like a serious rotation out of memes into these like infra, more like fundamental coins?
I think so eventually. I mean, I'm personally in the camp that memes have another leg up from here. But it's like,
say less.
Think about if you have memed at like 30, 40 billion, like multiple of them up there. It's like, how much higher? Like, are you like thinking they're gonna go to $1 trillion?
Yeah, like how crazy?
How crazy can this shit go? No, and like at that point, it's like I don't know what percent now memes are of the entire like altcoin space, but I do think once they get like a significant percent, that's probably when you want to start like de-risking out of those and into other stuff.
Hey, is Solana like your best P&L trade ever?
I think it might be. Yeah, I think it might be, actually, yeah.
How did you how did you make that trade with so much conviction? Like if you were to like repeat that in this cycle, like what did you look for? How did you spot, and how did you fire? Which is like,
yeah, it was a combination of different things. I was very lucky to have been in the Solana ecosystem for a long time and like just known the entire history of it. So I originally bought Solana at $1.50 in like, yeah, bro, like January 2021, or like right at the beginning of January 2021. Okay. And back then the idea was just that I seen ETH and ETH DeFi do well, right? I think if crypto is gonna grow to be a lot bigger than it is now, there's going to be multiple different L1s that succeed and have DeFi, especially because at that point, Ethereum was already having issues with like the congestion and high fees and shit like that. It was already starting to happen. And Solana's whole narrative was like cheaper, faster, whatever. Yeah. It hadn't proven that yet. Like there was nothing on Solana at that point. It was really just like an idea that could work. And I like watched a lot of the interviews with Anatoly, saw his background and how he was thinking about crypto. And that was also another big driver. But yeah, and in 2021, it was one of the best trades that cycle. Like I was one of the first people that were like LPing on, what was it? Like Radium. I was using Solid, like that first wallet on Solana before Phantom was there. Minted like the Degen Apes.
Oh fuck yeah.
Bro, I missed the SMBs. I had the Solarians, bro. I had like all the earliest shit on Solana. I was there, and like all the.
You minted any D-Gods or
early? No, I didn't. No? Didn't mint any D-Gods. Didn't mint any D-Gods. But I was there in like a lot of the early Solana stuff. So I'd seen the ecosystem grow, and then I also saw when it had growing pains when it started getting spammed with all the like people were spamming it. I think for all the NFT mints, and because it was just like free, every you could get like in NFT mint, you're printing. It was free money. So the bots were just like fucking over the chain, and at that point they didn't have anything to handle the congestion like really well. They didn't have like the spikes with fees, and I think the way the validators were managing like the flow and everything was fucked up. So I had to fix a ton of stuff in 2022. I like, followed all those like technical upgrades that year, and I went to Breakpoint in 2022. Yeah, so topped like around 200, 220. I sold on the way down, like around there, and then like I watched it throughout the bear market. I lost money on some other alts in 2022, but I went to Breakpoint like later that year, and I think Solana was around like $35 or whatever it was then. And I was talking to a lot of the developers at Breakpoint and like a lot of the people in the Solana community at Breakpoint, and everybody was talking about all the progress that they've made behind the scenes that year, and like all the teams still building, because a lot of the early Solana teams alts like did terribly. Yeah, it was like, what was it? It was dang, I'm trying to forget what some of them were. What were some of the early ones on Solana? But a lot of the early Solana teams, it was Maps. Like Maps was one of them that didn't do well. There was Oxygen was one that like didn't pan out at all. There were a few other ones on Solana just like didn't like it was terrible. Like had raised and like got super hyped by people and did nothing. So the sentiment on Solana teams was really poor at the time, and the chain and like Solana was down a lot, and people had just thought like, oh, it's going down every other day. Yeah. It's like it's all the outages and all that. So that was the current like public perception of Solana. It was not great in late 2022. And I went to Breakpoint, and then it was like the complete flip opposite of what everybody's talking about publicly and outside. So if you were like there talking to all these founders, all these people, like see what they're building, like what they're working on, and listening to all these keynotes, it had a completely different perspective for me than what everybody else was talking about. And then I remember they announced a Google Cloud partnership. I was like, they're, I think, hosting some of the validators or something. And it went to like 39. And then I went to the Breakpoint party, like the final party. And I was like, oh, we're good. Like I'm like all in. Like this is the spot to be at for next cycle. And then I get on the plane back, leaving Breakpoint, and literally, bro, I'm on the plane back from Breakpoint, and I remember the night before we were like, I was at this club, and people were like, "Yo, they're talking about FTX, like people need to pull their funds off FTX." I'm like, what do you mean people need to pull their funds off? Like, what are you talking about? People need to pull their funds off FTX. Like literally, like just like ignoring whatever they're talking about, and then get on a plane. And literally, people are like, "Yo, like CZ just bought FTX," and I was like, "What?" I was like, I was asleep, and I woke up. I heard somebody was like, "Yo, Z, wake up!" I'm like, "What are you talking about, bro?" I have no like, I have Wi-Fi, no service on my phone or nothing. And I remember somebody told me that. I'm like, all right, I'm going back to sleep. I don't know what they're talking about. And then we landed. I pulled up the timeline, and that shit was like, everybody obviously was talking about FTX just went under. Solana was like, whatever, crash super, bro, just like crashing. And everybody just got off the plane. It's like, what the fuck is going on? What the fuck did we just miss? I'm like, bro, I was only in the air for like 12 hours or whatever.
Bro called a regular Uber to get home.
Bro, I was coming from Lisbon. Like the plane ride is not that long. Like what the fuck did we miss on that plane? But yeah, that shit happened. And then it went to like, it went to 20. Then it went to like 8.
8, yeah.
And I remember Vitalik put out that tweet where he was like, yo, I think this community is like around for a long period of time. It's like, I know there's a lot going on, but I think they're going to be like here for long term. And that shit was like, whoop, and it went from like 8 to 10. And then that's when it pretty much bottomed around there. But I saw that happen at Breakpoint, and I saw that like the FTX shit happen. And I knew that like, if we're going to have another bull market and all these builders who are committed to the chain are staying there, are going to keep building there, eventually the SBF, like whatever hangover is going to go away at some point. That's going to go away. So that was really the bet. I mean, it was there. It was down what 80% from the highs on Breakpoint. I'm like, yo, if they're gonna come back, you're not getting any better like price to buy at than here.
So you like bottom ticked it?
I didn't buy it at 8. No, I didn't buy it. I was like, I didn't know how low it was gonna go, bro. It looked like it was going to like 2 or whatever.
I thought it was going to 0, bro.
Bro, I think like it looked like it was going to 0. Like, yeah, literally. And I waited, and I think I started buying probably like 15, 20.
Okay, word.
And that's when I started being like pretty loud about it. I think in like May of 2023 or whatever.
Hey, so you were like boots down.
I was on the ground.
At bear market breakpoint, listening to keynotes and just like talking about it, shaking hands.
I was there because, I mean, what happened to me, and so my first bear market in 2018, I was like trading some. I actually went to Tokyo. I actually went to Tokyo right before Bitcoin went from 6K to 3K. I went to Tokyo. I was like, because the price action was so bad, bro. That year was so bad. I'm like, fuck this shit. I'm not trading this shit no more, bro. Fuck it. I'm gonna sell some shit and I'm going to Tokyo. And then when I was in Tokyo, shit went from 6K to 3K. So that's when I shot 2018. But 2019, I checked out for like a good part of 2019. I checked out. And I like late 2019, and then early 2020. I missed a lot of the early DeFi stuff. So like I wasn't farming.
Because you were checked out.
Yeah, I wasn't checked out. I wasn't farming Yearn. I wasn't doing like the comp. Like all that stuff I like missed. And I was like, when 2022 came around, I was like, well, I'm not doing that shit again. I'm not gonna miss whatever I missed last time. And so I was like part of the reason I was locked in that year. But yeah, bro. Breakpoint 2022 was clutch for sure.
Hey, so you really came on my radar in like early, I want to say like early, like you were on my radar kind of, but like follow noties on like the Solana run up. 50, 60, 70, and then it's like louder.
Yeah,
and Coinbase and Tandem, right? Like they're pretty much moving in tandem.
Yeah.
And I feel like that was the inception of like the Ansem, like undisputed main character arc.
Yeah, that shit was crazy. Well, because, bro, people were hating on me so hard all 2023. I was like one of the only people super bullish Solana. Like, yo, this dude's fucking retarded. Like, what's wrong with him? Like, what's he talking about? Like, Solana's not going
and
nowhere.
So I'm only catching this from like side pieces, but you kind of fired off the end of the last cycle with like Luna and DeFi Kingdoms, right?
Yeah.
So you kind of like left on like a low.
Yeah.
We go bear market.
Yeah.
And then you like absolutely nailed the 2 biggest trades.
Yeah.
So it's like all this like negative energy coming down and then like 3-4x coming up. So it was like unreal. Like watching, I remember you made the Telegram. I don't know if you had it before.
Yeah, I made it during the run up.
You made the Telegram during the run up, and it was like sort of like Solana coin, and then like with like a little bit after, it was like this like God energy like I've never seen before. It was unreal. It was unreal.
This was crazy.
Rocketing followers. How has your like life changed, money aside, on his like main character arc? Like, do you like this shit?
Bro, I can't turn it off.
Yeah, you can't.
That's the thing. I can't turn it off. Like I always tell people, I was never trying to get followers on Twitter. Yeah. I was super active on Twitter before I did any crypto shit. I was like internet kid. I was on Tumblr, I was on Twitter, I was fucking World of Warcraft, like League. I played all that shit. So I was always active online. And like you said, last cycle, I did really well. I did really well with like, what did I hit? I hit Sol, Luna, AVAX. I hit Jewel, which I round triple out on Jewel. But I hit a lot of perps trades publicly. Rune too. I hit like a lot of perps trades publicly. That's what I went from like 3K to 100K last cycle. And people were like, yo, who the fuck is this dude? Like, boom, boom, boom. He's hitting all this shit back to back to back. And that's how I ended up on Up Only. And I remember I was on Up Only, and I was like, yo, I sold everything. Like, I'm
that was a really good one, by the way.
Out.
Hey, it was you and
Hentai.
And Hentai, yeah.
Hentai.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was like, bro, I'm out. I sold everything except for Jewel, except for DFK. And then DFK was the one that got me because like, I mean, it did really well. Went from like a sub $1 to 20 on like 1,000% APR. So everybody was farming this shit in the fucking gardens, playing that crazy ass music with the heroes and everything. Everybody was super hype. And then some shit happened with DFK, and eventually it crashed super hard. But that was the last thing people remembered from that cycle. Like, yo, this dude was in DFK. He also bought the near alts. He bought like some other shit that I just like bought on the way down in 2022 that I got clipped on. And everybody was like, yo, this dude doesn't know what he was talking about. Completely ignoring everything that
Everything
happened
else, yeah.
before. That's how it is on CT. It's like the last thing is the most relevant
And then most
thing.
people probably left after that anyway, so it was like
Yeah,
you
yeah.
get stuck with that at the end. Yeah.
yeah. So that happened. And then Solana, Coinbase, Bonk Whiff. Yeah, I mean, it was honestly crazy. It was crazy how fast everything shifted. And then I'd never gotten so many followers that fast, like ever. And it was ridiculous. Like I was already at 100K, but I'm literally almost at 500K now. I'll say it's different being in like normal spaces. Like I'll be in the club in New York or like walking down like the street in New York.
You're for sure getting recognized.
And people will recognize
I'll
me.
get recognized sometimes. If I am, you definitely are getting recognized.
Yeah.
Like, you're hard to miss.
I get recognized in person now. So we're like, yo, Ansem, like, yo, you made me this much, like this happened, like, thank you. Most of it is good, which I'm grateful for. Yeah. It's like people that aren't mad at me, that come up to me in person. All the angry people are online. All the people that come up to me in person are like thankful, like,
of course.
Cool. So that's cool, but I'll say it's weird because I literally can't turn it off. Like I could never, even if I stop tweeting right now, people still know what I look like.
Of course.
And people be like, yo, that's still like that's Ansem. I can't, so I can't like turn it off.
And you get this like ricochet effect when things happen, like the Nairo was a crazy one.
Bro, that shit was.
Talk me through that.
God, bro, I was so dumb for doing that shit.
Did you, when you did that, did you know what was about to happen? No, you had a thought at least.
Bro, I was so fucking stupid. I'm really in Barbados with the fam, chilling, drinking and shit. I get out of the ocean, and I get out of the ocean. I see the timeline, and they're like, "Yo, like." I'm asking what's the fuck is going on, talk about Nero. Then I ask people which one's the right Nero, and then somebody send it to me. I'm like, all right, cool, I post that one. Like, this is the right one. Then people are like, nah, that one's a scam. Like, join the spaces.
You joined the space.
I joined the fucking spaces, and then they're like, and then I'm just like in the spaces. Meanwhile, drinking the whole time, just like chilling, going back and forth with them. And I tell people on the spaces, I'm like, yo, just buy both the coins because I don't want to endorse one of these and have people get mad at me for endorsing one of them because I know that's what's going to happen. I at least said that multiple times on the spaces. But obviously that shit did not.
So do you think you specifically killed Nero?
I think I might have, honestly.
Really?
I'm not going to hold you, bro. I think I might have. But I don't know how that shit was going to play if I never did anything.
Well, this is what's crazy about it, though, because whether you did or didn't, I think maybe we talked about this. I don't know. But, like, it feels like a Cabal coin has this crazy narrative, like the second dose, yada, yada, yada.
Yeah.
But, like, someone who launched your cat as a joke had a higher market cap.
Yeah, it went to 100 mil.
That's crazy.
And that's one of the things I tweeted, too. I was like, the second Doge only went to whatever it was. I was like, that's
150, whatever.
That's kind of weird. It was like 80 or 90 or
80,
whatever
90,
it was.
yeah.
But yeah, I think that was also like an indicator of how much capital was kind of like active at the amount of time. Because, bro, like, how did everybody ate my cat and it went to fucking 100 million? Like, that was peak Ansem. That was peak Ansem, by the way. That was super
That was
peak
low-key
Ansem.
the top.
That was the top, though. And then people ate my cat to 100 million. And then people were like, yo, we can just put any of his family members on chain.
That's when it got weird. That's when it got weird. Yeah.
That's when it got fucked up. That was peak, though. Super peak.
Hey, real shit, though. When are you going to tweet a picture of that damn cat again?
Bro, I don't want to see that cat ever again, bro. People still ask me, where the fuck is the cat? I'm like, yo, no, I'm not getting trapped into doing this shit again.
Hey, I can only ask you this because you tweet about it, so I can ask it. The funniest poly market I've ever seen by far is percentage chance Ansem goes to jail. Do you think in the next couple of years you're going to go to jail as a result of the 2024 bull market?
No, I don't. I do think they're going to audit me, though. Like, they're fully going to audit
100%,
me.
right?
100%, no doubt. No, I got to be on everybody's list.
Like, you think
that's why I'm like, bro, you don't think I know that,
yeah.
bro? Like, so I definitely think they're probably going to audit me, but yeah, I hope not. I mean,
bro, your situation's got to be brutal if you do catch the audit.
Yeah, they're going to go through all my fucking
everything, right?
Everything. Yeah, so I'm already ready, bro. I'm already ready.
So here's my question for you: is this main character thing is pretty fascinating to me, and it's a weird spot to be in. Because you can't like play victim because everyone's like, oh, boohoo, like your life's so hard, you're the main character, you can move markets. But the reality of the main character spot is there's like 3 outs at best one out is like you launch something, you build a unicorn, you're out of here.
Yeah.
2 is you just get like fucking pillaged and get destroyed.
Yeah.
Like you just crumble
Yeah.
under the main character light. And 3 is like you just disappear. I guess
Right,
Kobe kind
literally.
of like split the difference. He launched Echo and kind of like disappear. You pull a GCR, you just like dip. You
Yeah.
disappear. Like there's no like obvious route for how this ends. Like how do you foresee it playing out for Ansem?
It's a good question. I mean, I think it is interesting because it's also like you can't ask a lot of people about it. It's like who can I ask? About
There's
what
like
the
a couple
fuck this
people in the
is?
world you could ask about.
Literally, I'm like, there's not a lot of people who have experience getting that many followers and like that much attention all at one time, and then having a lot of people expect a lot from you all at the same time, and there's just like a ton of fucking eyes on you. And then it's like the crazy part is you can't even control the narratives that people spin up.
No, you can't.
Can't even
It gets
control.
crazy.
Can't even control any of them. It's like when the Iggy shit happened, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna fuck with her and like support her shit or whatever. And then it's like a week later, somebody launches an AI fake video of me and her talking on the phone.
How crazy
and
was
saying,
that?
Like,
The Discord message?
bro, she texted me like, what is this? Like, what are these like crypto? Like, what the fuck is this? And I'm like, I don't know. Like,
Yeah, welcome to crypto.
yeah. So shit like that happens. Then people just like make up random shit about me. I think the weirdest shit that happens to me is people who say that they've met me and like said I'm gonna like partner with them on shit, and I've never talked to them before. That's weird. That's the weirdest part because I don't know when that's happening. Or like I can't even be like, no, that's not true because I don't know when those
you don't know
conversations are
what it
going
is.
on.
Yeah.
Like somebody came up to me at a happy hour a few weeks ago, and they're like, yo, I met your boy, like Drew, whatever. And I'm like, who's that? And they're like, nah, Drew, whatever, XYZ. His name wasn't Drew, but it was like, whatever.
Yeah.
He gave his name. I'm like, who's that? I don't know who that is. Like, pull up his Instagram. So he pulls up his Instagram and not following him. Yeah. And I look at all his pictures. And I'm like, yo, I've never met this dude a day in my life. And he's like, bro, he's like, the dude's telling me, he's like, bro, I told this guy for an hour. And the whole time, he's like making up all this shit. Like, yeah, Am's gonna partner with me on this. Like, he's working with my company, do this, like this. And like, he believed him. Like, he believed the guy. Yeah. And so I'm like, how many times is that happening?
Has that happened? You don't have no idea.
Bro, like how many people have this completely different perception of me that I can't even control or know what the fuck is like happening?
Hey, one of the funniest things I've seen in the cycle was you see that TikTok where there's a guy in the street, he goes up to him and he's like, yo, what do you do for a living? He's like, crypto. He's like, yo, what's the best crypto advice you can give me? He's like, buy my lady.
Oh, it's yeah,
and the guy's like, yo, you want to meet Ansem? Like, I know Ansem. He's like, nah, I know Zion. He's like, no, Ansem, bro, I know Ansem. Like, trust me, bro. You want to meet him? You want to meet him?
That shit was funny.
That shit was
it was funny because they didn't know each other, but they both knew me. And he was like, he obviously knew, like, oh, he knows I'm, like, bigger in crypto. And he's like, yo, I'm going to get this dude. It was funny. That was funny, bro. That was fucking funny.
That shit was hilarious.
But no, I do agree with his layers, like, 3 pass. It's kind of like you literally get fucked up. You did something wrong. And if you're in a spotlight and you did something wrong, you're fucked anyway. Like, you're getting caught. If you did something wrong and you're in that much of the spotlight, you're already clipped. So that's what happened with, like, a lot of people in crypto. And then it's like the second path is you build something. That's what I'm focusing on doing. And then the third thing is like, yeah, you just disappear. But it's like I can't really disappear, bro. I'm 6'6".
No, you can't disappear.
6'6",
Nah,
bro.
you
And I live in New York, and I'm outside. Like there's no way. But yeah, I agree.
And I feel like there was like a moment where you started being just like a lot more careful with what you tweeted about publicly and what the coins that you talked about.
Yeah.
And for me, the moment was Pups, undeniably. Yeah. I don't know if that was like a conscious decision, but that was nuts. That was nuts.
Pups was crazy.
That was crazy. Bro. Like what? Yeah.
Cause bro, my dumb ass, I was like, well, I used to do just the live streams. And I did a live stream.
What you missed, bro? We missed those.
Yeah, well, bro, what can I say on the live stream, bro? Like, you know what I'm saying? But like, so I used to do the live streams where I just talk about the market, like talk about what I'm looking at, what I'm researching, what I'm buying, whatever. And I did them like last year. And I did them like at the beginning of this year. And then at one point I was like hitting so many things. I hit bonk, I hit whiff, I hit some other shit, And so everybody's like, yo, Z, what we buying next? Yeah. Z, like, what we buying next? What we buying next? And you always get caught up when you hit so many things back to back.
You have like more buying power.
You get like
your audience.
You get everybody's like, yo, he can't miss. He can't miss.
And they're richer.
He can't, and they got capital, all that. And it's like your confidence is high. Everybody, it's like a whole thing. So it's like at some point, you're gonna run into something where you like are wrong or like you just fuck up. like when that shit happens, it's like also at the peak of when everybody was like, yo, he can't miss.
Yeah.
So it also has like the most impact on people usually. So that's what happened with Jewel and DFK. I learned this last cycle. And that's why at the beginning of this cycle, I was like, yo, 70% safe shit, 30% the DJing shit. So even if like I'm moving, buy this, I'm doing this, I'm buying this, I'm doing this, people don't get clipped for a lot. They get clipped for like a smaller percent. And it's like, even if that happens, I gotta like warn people consistently over and over that shit can happen. But yeah, bro, Pups. I thought Pups was going to fucking Billy's, bro. Like, like super Billy's. And I remember I was on live stream, and people are asking me like, "Yo, what are you buying? Like, what are you looking at? What art you looking at? What memes you buying?" And I was like, Pups. Like Pups on Bitcoin. Everybody's like, "What the fuck is Pups on Bitcoin?" I'm saying, it's like, what is that? I'm like, yo, nah, like the Bitcoin puppets, like their coin Pups. And I'm literally buying it. Like,
yeah, so that's my question. Are you buying it as you're saying?
I was buying it as I was saying I was like, I'm literally buying it. Like some of my transactions didn't even go through because as I was buying it.
Like you're clicking buy as you're saying Pups.
Clicking buy. Like I didn't like front run and be like, yo, sell. Like people think I buy beforehand and then talk about shit and sell. I literally never do that. I'm never selling into some shit while I'm talking about it. And
but you're buying while you're talking about it.
And I was buying. I was buying as I'm saying, like, yo, I'm literally buying Pups right now. And everybody's like, okay, we're buying Pups. How do we buy it? And then I, like, whatever the Unisat or whatever Unisat it was. And people started buying there. I don't know what it was, at something crazy. But yeah, I'm buying this. And then the Solana one was like, which was way more liquid. And people were like, yo, that one went crazy. And that shit happened. It ripped while I was like on live stream just talking about it.
Hey, on the Pups, don't lie. Was the Arthur Hayes Pups interaction scripted?
It wasn't. I swear to God, it wasn't scripted. I swear to God, it was not. I swear to God, it was not scripted. I was surprised when he sent me the message. He's like, "What meme are we buying? Like, bro, what meme are we buying next?" I was like, "What, bro? It's Arthur Hayes, bro." He's like, "What meme are we buying next?" People thought we like talked beforehand and planned that shit out. I swear we did not plan that shit out.
That's when shit just started getting like belligerent.
It got crazy, bro.
Honestly, the meme coin super cycle meta, whatever, it did have to cool off.
Yeah, because
it was getting silly. It was getting silly.
It was getting too crazy, bro. It was getting too crazy. Yeah. No, for sure. I mean, I think honestly for me it was that, and then it was like, yeah, I need to chill out. And then it was like also the celeb shit. Like,
yeah, we'll get into that.
Yeah, the celeb.
Honestly, it was kind of a combination.
But like right around the same time.
Do you feel like you've consciously chilled out since Pups, celebrities, all of that happened all at once?
I mean,
it was like the meme coins, like Pups, all that, celebrities, and then the fight.
Oh my God. Yeah, it was all at the same time.
All at the same time.
It was all at the same time. The fucking fight. Yeah, that shit too. That shit was funny, bro.
All right, we got pick it back up. We got a few things to cut into, but this is where I want to start because I have some personal experience and thoughts on this. I want to get yours. How has your views on the celebrity meta in crypto evolved through this cycle?
Bro, a lot.
Yeah.
A lot, for sure, a lot. I mean, at the beginning, it was like just like kind of an immediate reaction. Like when I saw the celebs joining crypto, I was like, yeah, that makes sense. Like memes popping off. Like I already had the social tokens thesis. I'd already been the biggest friend-tech like bull out of everybody, and then like the celebs come in. I'm like, okay, this is like the perfect flow into all the shit that's currently happening. We got meme coins, we got SocialFi, like all these celebrities would have these large audiences outside of crypto. If they come into crypto, they should be able to like make a ton off that, and their communities also be like incentivized to interact closely with these artists and all these people. So I'm like, okay, this makes a ton of sense. Like whatever, if they're launching coins or joining groups or joining apps, whatever, it makes a lot of sense. And that was my thought process at the beginning. I was very vocal about it, and I was like tweeting about it pretty actively. And it was the first three. The first one was Iggy, and Iggy like tweeted her CA. I want to say it was at like 10 mil or whatever it was, or like whatever. And that's why I like tried to buy then. My transaction actually failed the first time. I just didn't even realize it failed until like later. I thought I bought it, and I like went to join the spaces and all that shit. And I actually hadn't even.
No way.
Yeah, I like checked days later. I said no fucking because the shit like it ripped.
They were crazy. They were crazy.
Lucky it actually ended up coming back down. That's why I ended up buying it again. But yeah, so that was the first one. And she like tweeted at me like, yo, what should I do with the supply? Like, should I burn some of this? Like, let's do a spaces, whatever, cool. So I joined the spaces with her. I told her to burn like some percent of the supply or whatever it was. And we're just like having a conversation talking about celebs joining crypto, like what she thinks about the crypto space, like what her plans are and how she thought about it. And that's when I found out she was telling us that like somebody else was actively rugging all of these coins, like talking to people and literally trying to launch it under their name and doing hella shiesty shit. And she was like, no, fuck that. I'm going to do my own. I'm going to do my own thing. So I was like the first combo. Iggy's honestly the best one too because she's by far, which is crazy. Like by far the best one.
Which I did not expect, for the record.
Huh?
I did not. For the record, I did not expect that.
I didn't either. I mean, I did not either. After the first spaces, I expected her to be around for a long time.
Yeah, facts.
But like just at the onset, I was like, I mean, I don't know. I'm just whatever's gonna go on, it's gonna happen. I think the other one was like the Caitlyn Jenner one, which I couldn't tell was real or was not real at first. And I think like those Bark Meta guys were the ones that kind of like helped them launch that and those spaces. And I like joined the spaces and I was asking like who, like if it was real or not, like who else is launching, like all this other shit. But that one I was not like affiliated with really. And then the DeVito one is the one that really fucked me up.
That's where it got tough.
That's the one that fucked me up. Because I like actively was like, yo, I'll join the spaces with you or talk to you, whatever, as long as you join Drip and do all this stuff with Drip. Because he's like one of the biggest artists. Like, he's a big Afrobeats artist. He's a huge Afrobeats artist. And nobody on crypto even really knows who dude was. Like I know who he is. I'm like, if he's like an active artist on one of these crypto apps, that's huge. Like that's he's gonna onboard more people than anybody that could in crypto if he gets his whole community in. So I'm like, all right, man, cool. Like, word, let's run it. So got him signed up, connected him with bro, and he ended up signing up. And then like I'm running the spaces with him, and I'm running the spaces, and people are like, "Yo, they're selling from the dev wallet, like right now, like I'm like while you're talking to him, like right now,
while he's speaking,
while you're speaking to him, like right now,
like
bro." I'm like, what do I even? Yeah. What do I do? And the thing is, I like explained on the spaces. I'm like, yo, if y'all sell the first day you launch the coin, you're already clipped. Like nobody's gonna believe anything you say. Like what could you possibly say to that? If you launch the shit at zero and you're selling hundreds of thousands in the first like hour. Yeah. I'm like, bro, you like what? How do I even like bro? So that shit happened. And it actually was a crazy convo because on the spaces, they're like literally explaining to him how crypto works, like how stables work. Like they got him to make a Phantom wallet.
Who was it? Akshay that came up? Who came up?
It was a lot of the super team guys. Like the super team guys
came up there walking him through how to make a Phantom, how to do all this. He's
all this shit. Like, and it's like, and he's like, he sets it up. They send us some stables. Like, oh cool. Like He's like saying he's gonna go talk to them after and do all this other shit. Like the convo, if they hadn't launched a coin, would have been great. Mm-hmm. If the coin had not existed when that combo happened, it would have been perfect. If like he was like if bro was on Drip and we had that spaces with no coin, we would have been good.
So good.
It would have been great. But it's like they fucking were rugging the shit as it was happening. Yeah. And that's the thing with a lot of these people, I think, is that their teams are like not aware of crypto, but they understand they can make a quick amount of money in crypto super fast. You can't do that in any other really space really.
Fast.
Super fast. And they're just like, fuck it, we want to do this and whatever. Like, you tweet this, we got it. All right, cool. Bet. And after that, I was like, all right. I can't just be hosting spaces with people like just randomly. And I don't think I hosted any spaces after that. I don't think I did. No, nobody.
Yeah, I remember.
I don't any of that. And then I like Soulja Boy tweeted some shit, and I'm like, I responded to him like, bro, you didn't launch like 80 million NFTs. Like, come on, bro. Come on, bro.
I feel like after the DeVito thing, it just got silly. It was like
And it was just
It just got then it got just silly.
Everybody.
Yeah.
And then the thing was, after that one, all of them would tag me. They
Oh.
all would tag me. Every single one would tag me, like, yo, follow bro, tag bro. And it didn't matter if I was like replying and telling him to do this or like DM him, tell him to do this. It was just like, yo, whenever, and then they would end up launching a coin, obviously, and then rug that shit immediately. And every time one of them did, they're like, yo, Ansem just launched, and I'm like, bro, I didn't launch any of them.
Coins.
Of
course you didn't launch them.
Bro, and they just like, every single time shit happened, it was like another docket. Yeah. Ding, ding, ding. Every single time. It didn't matter what I said after the first
So
one.
I do think some really important, really between the trio of you, Kobe, and Zach, there was some like very important dialogue.
Yeah, Kobe was super smart on it.
He low-key had the best take. I'm hella paraphrasing. You could probably say it better. But it was basically something along the lines of like, if the celeb is coming into crypto and they aren't putting up any actual, anything other than brand risk of like launching a coin, no real capital, no investment, not putting any money down, they're probably here for the wrong reasons.
100%. I mean, he said two main things. Two main things. I can summarize what he said. The first thing, he was like talking to me explicitly. He was like, Z, anything that you are tangentially, it looks like you're related to, or you interact with at all, is gonna get seen as a stamp of approval, just because of whatever your main character right now. So anything you're close to, you look at, you talk about, kind of look at, like anything about, is gonna get seen as a stamp of approval. And it doesn't matter if that's fair or not fair, or if other people get treated like that. Anything you do like that is gonna be treated in that way. And because I was arguing with so many people, like, bro, I didn't launch the coin. All I did was follow him. All I did was tell him to do it this way. Like I DM'd this and told him not to do this. And everybody was just like, nah, fuck you. Fuck you launching stuff.
You a bitch too.
Literally, literally, all that, like all of it, all that. All that. I'm just like, damn, going back on my phone.
You were fighting for your life for 3 weeks.
Against CT.
Yeah.
Everybody.
20v1.
I got 100v1. And I was going back and forth like, I know I'm not, I'm like, am I rugging? I know I'm not rugging people. I'm like, why is everybody so mad at me? And then Kobe told me, he actually DM'd me like kind of some similar shit too. And he like did that publicly on the time so everybody could see like the thought process, which made sense. He was definitely right. I kind of went back and forth with him too on it. But yeah, I think that's true. It's just like anything I even am closely related to or talk about or like close to whatever. It's like that's going to get seen as stamp of approval. And then when anything goes bad with that, they can bring that back on you. They can bring that back on you. Because who else are they going to point to? Them? I'm not going to point at them. Like they're going to point at me. So yeah, that was the first thing. And then the second thing, he was like, yeah, a lot of these celebrities who come in the crypto and their first intention is to launch a coin are not the celebrities you want to be talking to in the first place. It's like, that's not even the target audience you want to be talking to. It's like, yeah, even if your thesis on celebrities and SocialFi and coins and social tokens is right, it's not with those people that are literally coming to launch because they need like whatever, 300K or whatever it was. So that was that's where I fucked up. And that's why that's where my entire thesis was wrong. I'm like, no way these people have these large audiences outside of crypto. They have all this reputation outside of crypto. No way they're gonna rug for 100K. No way. I'm like, no way they're gonna do that. And every single one of them was like rug, all of them. All of them. So that's where I was super wrong. That's where I was wrong. I was wrong on that. I didn't think that they would be moving like that. And Zach was fucking killing me that whole time.
He was on your ass.
Killing me the whole 3 weeks. He said, because he had the repository of all of them.
He had everybody.
Everything. He said, oh, him, folder, boom, give me all the screenshots and pull them out. He said, yo, he launched this. What do you mean he doesn't know? He launched this, did this. It's like, what do you mean they don't know? He did this. And it was just like all of it. All of it. See, I mean, I didn't have the repository of all this shit.
Yeah, what do you think his files look like, bro?
Bro, he probably has everything, man. Yo, he probably got terabytes of data, dude. But yeah, I mean, so that was the main thing. It was like, even if the thesis makes sense for them, it was like, you don't want to be looking at that audience anyway. And he was like, a lot of the people who are smart and have capital, they just invest in crypto anyway. Like they'll invest on their own, just like we did. They'll buy coins, or they'll like private invest through like VC or whatever shit, which makes sense. And then it's like the ones who do want to get
Barkley shit.
Yeah, it's like the perfect example.
Yeah.
So people like him who know what they're doing, they just do it that way, which is like the right way. And then it's like if they want to get closely involved and use their social whatever capital, they have ways of doing that. Yeah.
Hey, what's the craziest message you got during all this crypto celebrity shit?
The craziest message? It was it was probably either like Sexy Red or Lil Reese. Um, yeah, both of those are wild. I mean, because Sexy Red is like a pretty big
Bro,
artist.
she is hot right now.
She's popping right now.
Dropping tracks with Drake.
Bro,
like,
everybody on CD was like, they don't know who that is. I'm like, bro,
what are
she's
you
like,
talking? Exactly.
she's
She's like really big right now.
Yeah. And we're like going back and forth on the timeline or whatever. But yeah, her, and then
Didn't Lil Reese fake DMs with you?
Bro. He got me so good, bro. He got me good. He got me good, bro. I was like, I literally told him not to. I was like, bro, don't do a pump, like, don't do a pump fund. Don't, like, literally do not. I just said, do not, bro. And because what I kept trying to say is, like, for all these people who launch coins, there's a way better way to launch them. And this shit wasn't in place that I could just, like, tell them to do some shit and then, like, lock your coins this way and then don't sell first day. But there was no, like, thing I could easily point people to do that. So I told them, they don't do that.
Like, wait.
And but like having a wait. Like I'm having a convo like back and forth with him, and then he fucking screenshots me on the timeline, like some completely off, like not even related shit, out of context shit. And then that shit got screenshot by all CT, and it's like, oh, here's Zigo again, fucking rugging everybody in crypto. So yeah, that shit got me. That shit got me too, bro.
It is a decent topic though. Like, what is the best way to launch a coin in 2024?
I don't know. I would say the thing is, like, it could happen on a platform like Pump Fund, but the thing is, like, you can't launch them at super low market caps, because if you launch them at super low market caps, there's always going to be insider like trading that goes on, and somebody's always going to be dumping like the first day. For people that have that big of followings, you got to launch them at higher, like some type of higher market cap, and then like ideally, it's like if they do want to launch coins, I don't think they even really need to be launching coins, but if they do want to launch coins, it's like they should be locking whatever supply they have for an extended period of time. And it's like, if they're going to do that, then, they're at least committed to being involved with the project or whatever they're doing longer than the first day or week.
Yeah.
So ideally, yeah, something like that. But yeah.
So you have been very bullish on this like social token meta, sort of the whole, for as long as you've been on my radar, as long as I've been following you. Do you think this is the cycle where maybe not necessarily there's like Ansem coin, Threadguy coin, base 16Z coin, but do you think this is a cycle where every person of influence in crypto is heavily endorsing a coin, like a K-Money Mog, like a base 16Z Billy, like an Ansem Whiff?
I don't think everybody, but I do think that like that meta of being able to use your social capital in like an influential way, like investing wise or like working with teams wise, that's going to continue to happen. And I mean, that happened a lot with NFTs last cycle. Like a lot of the big NFT projects, they would hire big artists to work with them.
Yes.
Like be their creative directors. And that was basically just like leveraging their social capital, but in a non-direct way. And this cycle just got a lot more direct. I wouldn't say everybody, but I do think that's a trend that's not going anywhere for sure.
Are NFTs over? And like, what is the deal with NFTs? Was that just like a 2021 fad thing and it's done? Because I got here from NFTs.
Yeah.
I was a reseller of sports cards. I found Top Shot, and then boom, Bored Apes, you're off. Like, are NFTs cooked?
I don't think NFTs are cooked. I think that NFTs, my whole thesis on when they're going to come back is when GameFi pops off.
Ooh.
So like when GameFi ends up coming back and you have a lot of these newer games that have been building for a long period of time and they're connected to NFTs that are either like playable in game or you get some bonuses by holding them in game. I think that's when you're going to see NFTs pop off. And we've had meme coins do really, really well this cycle, and I think they're super close to NFTs. Like, even though they're, like, not non-fungible, I think they're super close to NFTs in the way that, like, communities form around them, yes. And there's, like, the gamification aspect of, like, you're trying to buy, like, all the early stage shit. I think that somebody's going to figure out a way to do some type of, like, gamification shit with NFTs and connect them in that way. Actually, I think a few teams probably are. That's when I think NFTs will come back.
So you believe in the GameFi meta, which I agree with the NFTs. Do you believe in profile pictures?
Yeah. I think it's kind of funny how like Whiff and Michi, like two of my favorite memes, everybody like the community has the profile picture of like the coin, but it's just like a different iteration of the coin. And I talk about these guys like every I think every pod I do, but like the NFT X coin, that hybrid thing, I think makes a ton of sense.
Well, I always thought 404s made so much sense, but it never.
It hasn't popped.
I don't know why
it
either.
hasn't popped yet either. But I think that does make a ton of sense because you get the same thing with NFTs where it's like the non-fungible version, and it's like if you hold enough coins, you get one of them. And then you have the coins that are like a lot more liquid, and you have the whole community aspect where it can be bigger than just 10,000 people.
You could swap back and forth.
Yeah, I mean, I think it makes a ton of sense. I actually have no idea why it hasn't popped.
Yeah. I do agree with you though that NFTs and meme coins are way more similar than the narratives make it seem. Like all the bull cases for meme coins, like the community, and we got a call, and everyone supports, everyone rocks the profile picture. Like it's the exact same as NFTs, because the utility was never driving the NFTs.
Yeah,
right. It was never like the game that they're gonna launch or the metaverse that they're gonna build or like the events. It was never like the events that was pumping the. It was like you have a lot of fucking attention on Twitter, and it's a cult. Like they're very similar, but I don't know. The cycle's been a little weird, and the hype is. Like the spark is just out of the NFT market right now.
Yeah.
Ordinals a little bit. What do you think about ordinals? I guess Bitcoin beta at large.
I mean, I got wrecked on ordinals, bro.
I got wrecked pretty bad too.
I got wrecked on ordinals. Ordinals, it's like, I think.
What'd you get wrecked on?
What did I get wrecked on?
Like node monkeys. I got a lot of puppets still. I round trip those motherfuckers. I love the puppets though.
They're sick.
I love puppets. I love the puppets.
The puppets are sick. No, they are sick. Which ones? I held some like weird shit. Not Ordi, but the other. Oh, I had OXBT. And that shit is, I don't even know how far down that shit is. Yeah. That shit is like a zero in my head. But the Bitcoin ecosystem, I'm not sure. I mean, my thesis on why the Bitcoin like DeFi and like all that ecosystem would do well was that you have all these Bitcoin holders with a ton of cash. Like they're the largest market cap in crypto.
The ancient Bitcoin whales.
Old Bitcoin whales, if they have Bitcoin, they're going to want to use that in DeFi. Or like whatever else. Ordinals, whatever. That was my original thesis, but I'm not sure like if that's tapping a new market. Like you think about all the really old Bitcoin whales that are degens, they're already on ETH and Solana and all that shit anyway. I was thinking about that, I'm like, they probably have their Bitcoin. They don't really want to touch that shit anyway.
Yeah.
Like they already have their Bitcoin shit. And then they have their degen shit that they're doing on chain. So it's like, are you converting the people who literally don't do anything on chain with their Bitcoin to get them to do some shit? That's what you got to tap. I don't know if that has happened yet.
It felt like the whole ordinals run was literally just the ETH and Solana degen just moving capital over to Bitcoin.
It was like everybody saying that the Bitcoiners are gonna do this, and it was like we're just.
And it's just it's money that already existed.
Yeah.
All right, on the off chance we get some new people, some retail watching this pod, it'll be on YouTube. We got some subscribers, you know?
Yeah.
If you were to come into crypto right now with like $1,000 portfolio, where would you focus? How would you run it up?
$1,000 portfolio. I think, probably on Solana. I'd probably be in the Solana trenches. Like, I would say that's where most of my capital would be, is like playing Solana alts and trying to like stack my Solana port. And then with like a smaller portion of it, I would be doing the thing where you're trying to bridge to the new things that are popping off. And that's what I did. I did it really well last cycle. Like I was one of the first people to bridge, like from whatever. It was AVAX and Joe. That shit popped off, went crazy. I was on Harmony. That shit popped off crazy.
Harmony.
Bro, I was at Phantom. I was on Phantom. I was on fucking a lot of the new L1s that spun up ecosystems. I was doing like the early bridging stuff there. And I think you may see something similar this cycle with like some of the L2s I talked about earlier. I think those are going to be interesting spots that have funding, are going to have ecosystems, and are going to be like really hardcore on trying to get new users. And then there's like there's some other infra I think plays are gonna pop up, and you'll be able to like farm early on. But that's probably what I would be like. My main focus would be Solana, and then it's like the new stuff that people aren't really talking about.
How do you track like your portfolio and all these like alt chains, L2s and L5s, and these like 19 wallets? Man. Like, how do you track all of your funds across? You got shit on Canto, AVAX, L2s, L3s. You have 9 wallets on each chain. Like, how do you track all your shit? Or you just kind of guess?
I mean, I have a lot of it I do like manually written down. I'm not gonna lie. I have like a lot of my stuff written in multiple different places. But I think what's good. Asset Dash is really good.
Asset Dash is
Asset
sick.
Dash is sick. They're like a good portfolio
They should
manager.
sponsor this pod, actually.
Yeah, they probably will, bro. They probably will be down. Yeah, Asset Dash. I like those guys. They're cool. And I think they have like almost pretty much all the chains, right?
Yeah, they got basically everything.
Yeah, they got basically
Oh,
everything.
they don't have Zora, and that shit hurt me the other day.
Oh, the NFT shit?
Yeah, they don't have Zora.
Yeah, I use Asset Dash probably the most out of the portfolio trackers, but it's hard, man. It's hard staying up to date with everything. I try and like do a recurring check on everything that I got, but it's definitely hard for sure. Bro, I remember last cycle I had like fucking 10 different L1 or whatever.
It gets crazy. I mean, it's
fucking
insane,
crazy. Yeah, it's fucking crazy.
All right, let's talk some of the degen shit. I'm gonna start hitting the stuff that people actually want to know. Where are the WIF Sphere funds? Is it in a Phantom wallet on your phone? Like, did you spend it to Uber here? Like, where are the fucking WIF funds, bro? What is this Sphere talk? Hit me.
Oh my God. Bro, they're in the same multi-sig, bro. They haven't moved. They haven't gone anywhere. Bro, so the WIF Sphere, the multi-sig, it's still like the same people that were on it originally. It's like me and some other guys that I met and I know they're like in the WIF community. I know they won't like rug like just because my name's on there and just go run away with shit. Like I know who they are. But yeah, it's in the same multi-sig. That shit is just hella complicated to get done, like get through to like make shit happen. If you saw I think a few weeks ago they had Bitcoin on this.
Yeah. So is it gonna happen?
I'm gonna say yes.
Okay.
I'm gonna say yes. But just like if it doesn't, everybody obviously would get their money.
Of course,
back. Like,
of course.
Niggas is not running away with the cash.
Do you regret doing it?
Bro, because I don't like. Bro, it's like a lot of this shit. I just be fucking going. I just be fucking doing it. People are like, yo, Z, we should put on the Spirit. I'm like, all right, cool, yeah, let's do it. All right, bet. And then people were like, I mean, I'm not gonna go do all the fucking legwork to set it up, and do this, make the website and do all that shit. But like, there are people who do, and the community will set it up. And there's like, whenever it's ready, I trust them to do it. And then like, if it's ready, then we gonna run it. I'm like, all right, cool, run it whenever it's ready. But it's like I gotta start doing random shit like that. Yeah. Like, it's just because there's just so many eyes on everything that I'm doing now, and it's like I'm not doing anything wrong, but it can appear to other people that I'm doing things wrong, and then that shit is just like annoying to deal with.
I also think it can be like I'm not in your spot, but I feel like it can be hard to realize the scale of your influence until you do a thing like that, and then you're like, oh shit.
Yeah, bro.
Like that was crazy.
Yeah, bro. Nah, I didn't realize the scale till niggas was like recognizing me walking down the street and in the club and shit. And I'm not at crypto events. I'm like, what, bro? I'm just outside. And people were like, Ansem. I said, what is going on?
I'm looking at this list. You have done some crazy shit this cycle.
I've done a lot of crazy shit. a lot of crazy shit, bro. I've done a lot of crazy shit.
All right, talk to me about that pimp arc, bro. What is Ansem's Angels what is the state of Ansem's Angels in August 2024?
Oh my God. Yo, so Ansem's Angels is so Join Only One is an application on Solana. They're essentially like an OnlyFans clone on chain. A lot of the same features that OnlyFans has. Like a lot of cool stuff on Sol. And I'll say two things on this. I'll say that the first thing, I'll say like why I thought it made sense to do and like what my thought process was in the beginning. And then the second part, I'll say like why I realized people were angry at me for it. So I'll talk about that. So yeah, the first part, my reasoning was like, this is a consumer application, has whatever, I don't even know, hundreds of millions of users, whatever, on off-chain. OnlyFans.
Yep.
So shit that exists already. It's fucking widely used. It's very popular. Everybody knows about it. A lot of the issues that they have are issues that an on-chain application can solve. So it's like a lot of the problems that they have or like the artists have with like payments, like being the middleman, like getting like all that shit where their shit will get shut down, like banks will get shut down. Like not getting the money directly, like the relationships with the people who are like working with them, all that stuff is not well structured and would be better on chain. And in my head, it's like, well, this is an application that makes sense on chain. It already exists off chain. And I'm just helping these people who are hitting me up be like, yo, we want to get integrated with crypto. can you help us like get integrated with crypto? And the whole Ansem's Angels thing. I think that's why I fucked up on the name, bro. I shouldn't have.
Bro, Ansem's Angels is egregious.
It sounds crazy. Like it sounds super crazy. It sounds super crazy, bro. But yeah, so that's like one of the ways I fucked up. But that's all it is just like those like artists who are on OnlyFans or like in these other spaces and they're like, yo, I want to be in crypto. Can you help us get into crypto? And like the CEO's mad cool, super smart guy, and knows like that space well. And he's like, yeah, dude, like this is something that could be big on chain. And in my head, it's like, I knew I was gonna get pushback for it. I knew I was gonna get pushback for it anyway, like no matter what I did, just because of what the content and all that shit is. But my thought process was like, who am I to be like, no, they can't be on Solana.
Yeah.
Like, oh, fuck you. Like, you can't be on Solana. Because who else is gonna be like, I'll help? Who else at the point in time was gonna be like, I'll help and would actually like impactfully help them? You know what I'm saying? It wasn't really that. I was like, man, who the fuck else is gonna be like, yeah, I'll do this? I don't know, really. So in my head, I'm like, I don't want to be the one that's like, fuck you, just because you do this, and some people may think it's like not right or whatever else, or like immoral, whatever. Who am I to be like, no, don't. I can't fuck with you.
Do you think you find yourself in some tough spots with the mindset of no one else is gonna do it, so I might as well?
Yeah, bro. I all the time. All the time. And then I'll say the second part, like why I understand people are mad or like we're mad. It's like that, like OnlyFans culture is kind of like a drug for people.
Yeah.
So it's like gambling is like a drug, drugs are like a drug, alcohol is like a drug. OnlyFans is also like kind of those drugs where it's like, yes, people do it. Yes, it's gonna exist. Yes, if I said nothing or did nothing, OnlyFans is not going away. Like it's just gonna still happen. But it's like if you're one of the people who is helping that exist, it's kind of like like why like you can. There's other things you can
do better things.
There's only other things you can be doing, and I think that's kind of the same reason that people kind of get mad at the like people who push sports gambling hard. It's the same type of thought process where it's like, yeah, people are sports betting, but people lose money sports betting. Same people lose money betting on like super low cap coins. So it's like, if you're encouraging people to do that, are you like being a good person by doing that? Or like, you know what I'm saying? Is it a net positive for crypto if you get like a ton of people on chain and then they use other applications? That was my thought process. If like there's 100 million people from OnlyFans and then they're on Join Only One is Dead, that's 100 million people on Solana that are using all these other applications.
You really just want to onboard motherfuckers, bro.
Bro, I was like, bro, I don't care who you are. Like, if you're not hurting people or doing some wrong shit, you cool with me. But yeah, so I understand why now. It's like the immorality piece of it and like the like aiding or whatever you call it, like aiding like that addiction. Yeah, I think that was like why. Yeah, but
hey, be honest. Are you the one that sold out Jaylene's passes?
No, I wasn't. And every time somebody bought one, she DM me like, "Yo, was that you that did that?" And I'm like, "Nah." She's like, "Yo, who's doing this?" I said, "I don't know."
She's like, "Damn." She's like, "Ansem, just buy one, bro."
I said, "I don't know, bro." One time somebody bought like two. Like somebody bought one, and then it was like one left, and somebody bought one, and then like listed it higher.
So that's Ansem's Angels. You did bring up a topic that I think we should hit though. I think there's been like I don't know if this is because crypto is kind of dead right now. There's not that much volatility, but there's been like a widespread narrative push towards sports betting.
Yeah.
Like, what are your thoughts on like crypto versus sports betting versus the future of gambling?
I think that meme coins are kind of in the same vein, and like when you're buying super low cap coins, you kind of have the same hit rate of like the 5-leg parlays. Yeah. Where it's like people never hit those 5-leg parlays. Like you trying to bet $10 and make $1,000.
It's not happening.
It's like most of the time your shit's not happening. But the thing is with meme coins is like it's also very low hit rate, but the upside is way higher. It's like if you hit a meme coin at 100K and it goes to $1 billion, you're up whatever it is, 1,000 or 10,000x. Whereas you're not getting that unless you do a fucking like 100-leg parlay, and which is just not happening. So I do think it's going to be as popular, if not more popular, than sports betting at some point. I think that whole area of like the low cap gambling and crypto is going to be a big thing, especially if people figure out a way to make it more like supportive of the community. Because like when you're doing sports betting, that money's gone. It's never coming back to you. You're not. I mean, unless you're one of the people that bets a lot and you get rakebacks, that money's never coming back to you. But I think there is a way to create an ecosystem where it's like that money does kind of circulate back to you, or there's ways to like increase the odds of what you're hitting on. That's the thing for me is like, yes, crypto in a way is like gambling, but it's gambling that you can get good at, like, and you can improve your skill set at. Like trading is not like
gambling with an edge.
Yeah, for sure. Like you can improve your edge in a lot of different ways in crypto, and that's why people play the game so much. Because, like, you can get better at it.
So you think meme coins will replace the low end of sports betting?
I wouldn't say, like, replace. Like, I don't think people are going to stop sports betting, but I do think it's going to be as commonplace. It's like people are going to be, like, gambling in crypto on low caps in the same way they gamble on sports betting.
Because my, like, meme coin super cycle take was, like, I should have graduated college this year, right? I dropped out of my freshman year. And everybody I know that's my age that is like works a minimum wage college job, you're broke in college, has like a sneak sports betting addiction. And and none of them have ever made any money ever.
Any nominal amount,
ever. No. And the money that they lost, or the money that they won, they lost 2x. So I'm looking at this and I'm like, man, you could make $10 40-leg parlays for your entire life and you're never hitting it. Even when you do hit one, you're just gonna give it right back.
Yeah.
At least in meme coins, like we were talking about the Sundog. Like at least
you can hit.
At least it happens. Like you can actually hit for the life-changing amount.
Yeah.
Or at like your hit rate is just higher. Even in the pump fun froth, like your hit rate is just objectively higher and you could have an edge. I mean, like you're never gonna have an edge in sports betting. You're just not. And the people that have an edge, it's like so minuscule, arbitraging across different. Like, bro, have you ever talked to like a professional sports bettor? Like, bro, their life sucks.
Yeah,
like it's
and
not.
They're the professional,
right? Arbitraging lines and like with the deepest of edge you can have, and it's still like minuscule. Like it's so trivial. It isn't even worth it. That was always my thesis. I'm like, all right, bet. Like I can convince my 22-year-old homies they got like $100 in the account and are gonna throw it on like Eagles money line to buy a couple pump fun coins instead.
Yeah, it's like, and also in crypto, you can roll your gains into safer things. It's like people know Bitcoin like has fundamental value, is going to be around for a long time. No matter else what you think about the different areas in crypto that are like gambling, people have stamped that Bitcoin and obviously like Ethereum and Solana, I think also are going to be around for a long time. And like crypto's not going anywhere. So it's like when you do hit on those plays, you can roll that into stuff that you know is like going to hold its value. Whereas in sports betting, if you hit, I mean, sometimes people pull out like a ton, obviously. But it's like in crypto, you can compound a lot harder, like a lot easier, I think.
Does any part of you want to just put all of your money into Bitcoin and fuck off for 2 years?
I definitely thought about it, bro. Like you literally just tell everybody you sell everything and just like keep that shit in cold storage.
I had this, actually the other night when I was with you at dinner, I had a long convo with Basic CZ. And we were talking, and it was pretty doomer.
Yeah.
We're talking about how the trenches were cooked.
Yeah.
And he basically compared it to like sneaker reselling and what happened. Where it was like there was like a huge edge in sneaker reselling. There was like dumb profit. Anyone could make a large amounts of money. Then it got hyper competitive. Everybody came in with the crazy bots. The botting got competitive. Then the manufacturers realized, oh fuck, like we can just print unlimited new drops, new releases, hype them up. We can make more money, right? Clip, too competitive. Kind of what's happening with pump fun meme coins.
Yeah.
And then the same thing happened when I went to sports cards. It was like, it was a very hobby niche. Not that many people were in sports cards. It was COVID. It was stimmy season. People were looking to buy anything.
Yeah.
You go to sports cards, everyone starts flooding in the second or third wave. And the manufacturers are like, oh, fuck. It's Zion, Ja Morant rookie year. People are going stupid for these cards. We can make billions on this.
Yeah.
They start printing unlimited cards. The bots get more competitive. The margins get tighter. Same thing happens. Everything sort of dumps.
Yeah.
And it's kind of happening in meme coins right now, where it's like, it wasn't that many coins. Like we were talking for a while. The only beta on Solana was Bonk.
Right.
That was it.
Yeah,
there wasn't that many coins.
That
There was a huge edge. Even like when Whiff happened and Pepe happened, there wasn't that many coins. There was no pump fun.
Yeah.
You could come in with not that much capital, make a lot. Then it gets hyper competitive. There's millions of coins. The bots get tighter and more specific and more competitive. Everyone and their mama is trading memes.
Yeah.
And then you look at it now and you're kind of like, ugh, I don't know. What's the next thing? And we kind of had this back and forth where we're like, fuck, I don't really, like if this is it for memes, which I don't believe it is, I don't really know what the next thing is to get excited about. I guess it's a long-winded way of saying like, what are your thoughts, but also like, what is exciting to you right now as like that next thing in crypto?
Yeah, it's a good question. I mean, I think that like for me, that pump fund trading, that's like a mini game. Like pump fund is like that's like a mini game. It's like it's kind of like
within the
game.
game.
It's a game of fucking trying to guess which one is gonna pop off pump fund, make it to the LP or whatever. But I think there's like a lot more ways you can get creative with those mini game type of situations in crypto. And Solana is a great place that can enable all of that because obviously like you can process a ton of transactions, super cheap fees per transaction, and users can get hit. Like all those microtransactions can exist really well in Solana. So if you look at like all the games, a lot of the mini games that popped off on like iPhones, Android, like back in the day, like Flappy Bird type shit, where it was like stuff where people were just playing. You're playing Flappy Bird, you didn't get. There's no monetary incentive for people playing Flappy Bird. They're trying to get the highest score, whatever, beat everybody else. There's a ton of ways in crypto to build games similar to that on chain now that can have also a financial aspect to them. And then it's like if you add that financial aspect to all these mini games, and then you add the community aspect on top of that, where everybody's on chain, everybody's competing against each other. I think there's a lot of creative things that you can do in that space, and nobody has really tapped that yet. Like, what mini games would you play outside of Pump Fun right now?
Nothing. So you kind of look at Pump Fun as like one app in the millions in the App Store that popped off.
100%. Like Pump Fun is like, for me, Pump Fun is one of the clearest indicators of the PMF Solana. Because it's like Pump Fun makes more revenue than Solana does daily,
How
weekly,
crazy
whatever.
is that?
Like, and it can only do that because of how easy it is to process so many transactions on chain for Sol and how cheap it is for Sol, whatever. But it's like, if you can have multiple different applications like Pump Fun on Solana because of how it's designed. Like if the hotspots with fees, like if you have fees pop off in one area of Sol, right, it shouldn't affect some applications going on over here in Solana. Like the way they process transactions in parallel and like the way it's designed should be able to work in that way. So you can have a ton of different applications on Sol that are all these fucking like crazy mini games where people are like gambling or competing with each other on that can like pop up at the same time. And there's like also the like gamification of other stuff where it's not as much gambling, like the Moonwalk app, where it's like people are just like betting on who's gonna do the most steps in whatever X amount of time. And that's like a very simplified version of just like fitness stuff, but I think that there's gonna be a ton of mini game type of apps that pop up on Sol.
So I was a youngin' for this, but like my understanding of how like the internet evolved is like early iPhone days, there was this like gold rush for developers to come build apps, launch them on the App Store and just fucking print. Do you think we're gonna see that like, or maybe seeing it right now, that gold rush for developers to build crypto apps on Solana, on Monad, on these like hyper performant chains?
I think so. I mean, I think so. I honestly do think so because the difference between crypto and like those apps on the App Store, I mean, some of them are financialized, but a lot of I think the apps on crypto are going to be.
But they couldn't really figure out to
money.
monetize. It was like, all right, you charge 99 cents for your app, or like there's some like Clash of Clans was killing me with the microtransactions and shit, but like they're tough to monetize.
And it's like, I mean, in theory, it's like the margin should be much better on like blockchains that are performing in that way. So yeah, I mean, I think so. I think that's like a completely open design space for me. I don't think it's really been explored yet.
Do you have interest in like building apps on Sol?
For me, it's like I want to be the one investing in them. Like I think one of the superpowers that you have when you are kind of like this whatever main character, like you have like distribution, is you get access to a lot of like really, really smart people. That's one of the things I do like about having so many followers. Like I get access to a lot of the smartest people in a lot of different areas that I never would have been able to talk to before. It's like if you have like 100 followers, nobody knows who you are. You're not gonna get to talk to all the best developers, all the best founders, like the CEOs of all these different L1s. Like you can talk to if you like have a platform like this. And when you do have a platform like this, you also can invest in those up and coming teams like before they go live, before they go public. So like that's one of the things for me is like I don't have the capacity to build all of these different games like myself. I mean, if I were, it would have to like be something I commit to, and I would have something I'm committed to building right now. But I can invest in them, and I can like help them with distribution and all that. So.
What do you think about the state of like crypto angel investing in 2024?
I think it's actually in a good spot. It's
Really?
just like, yeah, I think it's in a good spot. It's just that like you can't be doing the same deals everybody else is doing. It's like I think a lot of last cycles. I didn't do really angel investing last cycle. I didn't do angel investing last cycle. But I think a lot of last cycle, from what I heard, it was just like a lot of infra stuff.
Yeah.
And a lot of the infra stuff is like got super bloated super quickly. And I think that trade of like infra coming out at 10 billion is probably done.
Crazy.
Until you prove out that you deserve to be at 10 billion after this cycle. So it's like, I think the Alliance style guys kind of have a good thesis on this too. They've essentially been saying that this is the application cycle for crypto. And it's a lot harder to invest in apps.
For sure.
Like,
You can't just like close your
harder.
eyes and throw darts.
Like if you I would say last cycle, if you were investing in an L2 at super low, you knew it was getting marked up. Like almost no matter what, you knew it was getting marked up by somebody, because somebody was just gonna fund it. But with apps, it's like it's a lot harder to invest because you need to know like if they're a really good founder, like if the app's gonna like that whole thought process is harder for people. But I think if you have access to those type of deals, then you can do well. Because that's what's going to pop this cycle for me, I think, like apps.
I feel like there was this narrative for a while, sort of like 6 months ago, 3 months ago, that was like, it was kind of a cope narrative, but it was basically like the only way to make it is to get in like cabal deal flow. Like, can you make it this cycle without angel investing in sick rounds?
Yeah. I think definitely, especially because now that that's like the consensus, and a lot of people like don't want to buy a lot of infra at super high vals. The vals will come down in public, and then if you have teams that are doing a great job of building out their ecosystems, it's gonna happen at the same time as like these vals come down on infra. And then it's like these teams are building great products, and some of them are going to pop off, and you're going to get a discount to whatever it was priced at when it launched. And it's like if you're one of the people who didn't do the angel investing, you're going to get to buy it at whatever val, but you're also not going to be locked up for 3-4 years or 2 years.
That's a good point.
I think that's going to happen a lot, honestly. I do think that's going to happen.
Hey, it might go against your bags, but what do you think? Like, what would it take for a new chain to overtake the culture side of Solana? Like a Solana stamped certified king for the inevitable future. Like, what would it take to overtake Solana right now?
I mean, time is honestly the biggest thing. Because even if you have Solana right now, right? Even if there's an L1 that comes out that's as performant as Sol at launch, and you can build the exact same applications that you could on Solana on that other L1 or whatever it is, or L2 or whatever it is, you still need that community of developers, community of people, like community of traders to like be there and be active on chain. And I think that just takes time to build out. What I honestly have been thinking a lot this cycle, how I've came into it, is I think Solana's going to do really, really well, like more than people expect, which has kind of been happening already. And then once it does really, really well, there's so many different projects launching, like late cycle, that are still not even out yet. And it's like if you have Solana at like 1,000 plus or something like crazy high, and then you have something new that drops at like 1/10 of the val, there's going to be a lot of people who they're going to have to take profits off the table, and they're going to be looking for new things to rotate into. Whereas last cycle, it was like everything was out at the same time. I would go from Solana, Luna, AVAX, Harmony, like you could just all at the same time. But this cycle is going to be like something like Solana, then maybe like Monad drops, then maybe like some other L2 drops, and you have all this other stuff drop, and they're not all out at the same time. So it's like the rotations between the different L1s, in theory, should be like easier for people to make because they're not like stuff's going to be peaking at different times. So that's how I've been looking at it for a while. I've been like, yo, Solana goes to 1,000 or 1,000 plus, and we catch a 50x off the bottom. Clip that and then look for the new stuff that's coming out.
You really think Sol is 1,000 this cycle?
Yeah. I'm not joking. I really do think.
What does Bitcoin top at?
I've been saying like 250K.
Fuck. I feel like even if we're only in the third inning, I feel like there's a lot of people that felt caught off guard on their heels when the cycle started. I know I did a little bit.
I did, yeah.
Caught off guard on their heels.
Super hard, yeah.
And then feel like they really underperformed like the first couple innings, the sort of leg up. Do you think now is like the time to like rebalance, reset, and sort of like change your narratives and your viewpoints as we like hit the later or the mid to later stages?
Yeah, I think so. Especially if you feel like you underperform, because I mean, we kind of had this period right now. We've been sideways for a few months now. I mean, most alts topped in March. Even Bitcoin and ETH and Sol haven't made new highs in like 5 months or whatever. I do think now is like you should think on, say if you were like at zero. It's like think about somebody who's completely zero or whatever, has all cash, right? How would they allocate crypto coming in right now? Not thinking about, oh, it's already up 7x, it's already up 10x. Not thinking about any of that stuff. Just like if somebody were to come into crypto right now, how would they allocate? Just looking at the landscape right now, not whatever preconceived biases you have, like preconceived notions you have, whatever else. How would they allocate? You always want to be thinking about that. Always want to be thinking about that, like because that's how you kind of counteract the biases that you have. I do think now is like the perfect time to be doing that, honestly. Yeah.
I got like one more topic for you, and I got some rapid fire, and we'll call it.
All right, bet.
All right. Will we see another Ansem boxing match?
Yes.
What happened, bro?
Yes, bro. I can't go out like that.
What
bro.
happened, bro?
I can't go out like that. I cannot.
What happened,
bro? So I mean, I'll tell how it originally happened, bro. Like I was just drunk. I was drunk one night. I was out, and I see Barney on Twitter talking about like nobody wants to fight me for fight night. Does anybody want to fight me for fight night? And I was like, yeah, whatever. I'll fight you. I just replied to it, and it was whatever, like 2 a.m. And I wake up the next morning.
You got a contract in your inbox?
Yo, they were on me so fast. It was like, whatever, Rookie and, what's the other bro's name? Rookie and a few of the other guys were like, DMing me like, yo, you serious? Like, you serious? Like, we can lock it right now. Like, we can lock it. Like, you serious? We'll lock it. Like, yeah, lock it. All right, cool. And I think I want to say it was like February. I want to say. But yeah, so I've never boxed before. But I like played other sports all the way up. Like I played football, basketball, track. I'm like, yo, it can't be that hard. Like just to learn whatever. So I got a trainer and I was like training with him, but I was never like, I wasn't as consistent as I should have been with like the training.
How many training sessions?
I mean, I had a few of them. Like, I definitely was training. But like I was also going out, like traveling. You saw, I've been everywhere this year.
Crazy life.
I've been everywhere this year. I would go to like Miami for a few days. Bro, text me like, "Where you at?" He's like, "All right, you're down there. You're gonna train while you're down there, right?" I'm like, "Yeah,
hotel gym."
I'm in space. Yeah. I'm all over the place. And then I get to Dubai, and I landed on Monday, and I was drunk Monday. And then I think we went out again on Tuesday. I think I chilled Wednesday. And then Thursday, I didn't drink when I was out till like 5 a.m., like the night before I was supposed to fight or whatever it was. So I'm out like all week, not sleeping.
Are you thinking about the fight while you're there? You're blocking it a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I was. But bro, everybody that I sparred, I was like, cool. I was chilling. Like I had no issue with sparring. I done the sparring. Good, I'm feeling great. I'm like, all right, cool. I'm in Dubai. I'm going out. And yeah, no. Absolutely not, man. I walked, man. The first round was okay.
Yeah.
First round was decent. I watched it back and I'm like, all right, first round was all right.
You watched the whole thing back?
I watched the whole thing back.
Was it
tough?
I
watched the whole thing back. I took a minute to watch before I started watching it back. But
I don't blame you.
Bro, I watched the whole thing. I was like, okay, first round was decent. First round was cool. Right. Second round, I'm like, damn, I look like not great. And then I was so tired. I remember I was gassed, bro. And then I remember my trainer, bro, was like, I know you're gassed. He was like, just like let him punch out, like let him try and punch out in the third round, and it's like try and knock him out fourth round. I'm like, cool, I can do that. I can make it through round three. I'll chill round three. I make it through round three. So round three happens, and I'm like so tired. When I tell you, bro, I was gassed. Yeah. I was gassed. I was like eating punches with my face, like just on my chin, bro. I was just so fucking. I was literally eating just punches. Yeah. And the ref's like, bro, you gotta swing back or like I'm gonna stop it. I'm like, all right, cool, yeah, cool. Yeah. And then obviously I was like not throwing punches back. And he stopped it. I didn't want him to stop it. I wanted him to let me get to like the last round because it's 4 rounds. Bro, when I tell you, it's only 2 minutes. 4 rounds, 2 minutes.
it feels crazy.
Oh, it's 3 minutes. 3 minutes.
It feels crazy though.
But it feels like, whoa, like way longer than
It was
any of that
packed
shit.
in there too, wasn't it?
It was well, bro, the stream had like 100K or whatever tune in total.
Hey, what'd you do?
People watching that shit, bro.
Right when you were done, you got back. You got to your. What was your phone like after that fight?
My phone was blowing up. My phone was blowing up, bro. Twitter was blowing up. People roasting me on Twitter. People texting me like, "Yo, you good? Like, what's up?" People like, worry. I walk out of the ring. People worry about me like, "Yo, you good? Are you all right?" My friends are concerned. They're like, "Yo, are you okay?" Yo, I'm like, damn. I remember the first thing I tweeted. I was in the Uber leaving the place. I'm like, bro, why are niggas texting me like I'm dead, bro? Like, I'm like, yo, what the fuck? Oh, that shit was funny, bro. That shit was
You went out that
funny.
night too?
Yeah, I went straight to club. Straight to club. Right back at it. Yo, and the funniest shit was I get to the club, and everybody's like, yo. And they're just like taking pictures with me and shit. I'm like, bro, I just got my ass beat live in front of everybody. Oh my God.
Hey, you stopped in the ring though.
Yo, I did something in the ring. That's what everybody said too. Like, yo, I wouldn't have done that. I remember Kobe was like, yo, I would not have done no shit like that.
What's the plan for fight number 2?
I actually need to train, bro. I need some
You got something lined up or
I
no?
need to train. Not yet. No, not yet. But yeah, I got to run it back. I have to.
You got paid for that?
No.
Really?
No.
You did that for free?
For free. That's what niggas said. Niggas like, one of my niggas texted me and he was like, yeah, you just got your ass beat. But how much did you make though? And I'm like, nothing. He's like, yo, what's good? He's like, what's good with you? Oh my God. Nah, that shit funny.
That might have been the actual Pico top of the
Yeah,
right?
That and Hobbs and that was peak Ansem. That shit was so funny, bro. That shit was so, bro. And I stayed in Dubai for another week.
That's crazy.
Hey, Dubai was lit though.
Hey, just because I just thought of this, how did you feel about Vitalik fucking retweeting your...
That was after that happened too.
I think so, yeah.
Yo, I was.
You met him?
I've never met him. I've never talked to him. Bro, I was so caught off guard by that. I was like, bro, no way Vitalik is coming for me. Everybody's came. All the CTs came for me. Everybody's came for me. And then Vitalik retweeted that shit. I said, no way, bro. Vitalik never comes for
anybody.
Anybody. He never gets pressed about anything. I was like, ain't no way, bro. No way.
This brings me to one more topic. We'll hit a few rapid fire and we'll call it. Do you think now is a good time for a new trader to learn how to leverage trade?
If you want to do it with a little bit of capital, then I say yeah.
You said you ran 3K to 100. You said that earlier or no?
Followers?
No.
Leverage?
Leverage. Maybe it was followers.
No, it's followers. But
Okay.
I mean, I've had some good runs on perps, bro. I mean that's how I made most of my money last cycle was perps. I was crushing perps. I hit Axie from like 8, 9 to like over 100. I hit Luna from like, dang, what was like around 10 there. Bro, that July 21 bottom where everything I caught all of it.
Like, do you think the good on-chain traders should move to perps?
No, I don't think so. It's like if you have a skill set that you're good at in crypto, like it's like you should definitely stick to that. But if you want to be in crypto for a long time, you gotta know how to do both. I mean, it's like spot is way better than anything for sure. But being able to trade spot is the same as being able to trade perps. It's just a thing of managing your risk.
Yeah.
Like you should never be like heavily leverage your entire account, but it's like if you can keep some on whatever exchange or whatever platform you're using, you like say you have 10K. And you like want to like leverage trade, you shouldn't be keeping like the whole whatever 10K on whatever platform. You can keep like 3K, 4K, and you can lever up whatever you need because leverage should help you avoid exchange risk instead of like you levering up your entire port. Yeah. And it just like makes it easier for you to get size in really good spots. So it's like if you have, say you want to risk like 10% of your port, and you only have like 1,000 on the exchange, but you have 10,000 like in capital in other places, like, oh, I can lever up the whole way. And like if I get liquidated, it's just 10% of my port. So it doesn't really matter. A lot of people think like you want to lever up your entire net worth. Like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm 10x leveraging my net worth. That's not how you should be using leverage. You typically want to use it so you actually have less capital on whatever exchange, and then you can lever up and manage your risk that way. But yeah, I mean, it's definitely if you're going to be trading crypto for like a long time, you definitely should eventually learn how to. But spot chill and knowing how to do stuff on chain is always going to beat. Not always, but it's going to beat most of the time.
Who's the best leverage trader in crypto?
Probably Rhino, bro.
Really?
Probably Rhino or CL, probably.
Damn, CL?
CL's nice, bro.
I fucking love, it's one of my favorite accounts on Twitter.
CL is nice. Yeah, CL.
I thought you were going to say Gainsey.
Bro, Gainsey is Gainsey's just a degen. Gainsey's one of those guys who when he hits, he will hit for like infinite. But it's like,
But
if
he's
I
not
say like
hitting.
pound for pound best, I would have to say like Rhino or CL, yeah.
Say last.
Yeah.
I got a couple of mid rapid fires and then we'll call it. I have best and worst trade ever. So best trade ever, we talked about it already or no?
Best and worst trade? Yeah, I mean, I think it's Solana, bro. I mean, the cycle Solana,
What's the worst trade ever?
like the memes. Worst trade? Like I think the worst trade that I've like lost, like purely lost, was actually a Luna short.
Oh, really?
A Luna short.
What about biggest round trip ever?
Definitely DFK.
DFK?
Yeah, for sure.
Was it crazy?
Bro.
It was
Man,
crazy?
I had so much fucking jewel, bro. The Luna one was the worst one though, because like I was so confident the market was topped in late 2021. I sold like everything except for Jewel DFK, and I was like, "Fuck it, I'm short Luna." It rallied back into the highs. It was like I remember this trade because I was so fucked up, and I had like everything in cash, and Luna rallied into the highs like late night off some shit, and I was like, "Fuck it, I'm heavy shorting this shit." I tweeted it out, tweeted the whole thing out. It's like, "Fuck this shit, top, going off." No, I just be randomly going off. It's like going, I was
like
going
a
off,
manic,
just going off like that. And I took the short and passed out, and then I woke up. I said, "No fucking way."
Do Kwon got your ass.
Got my ass, bro. And then that shit went to zero.
Yeah. You're a little early. You're a little early.
And then that shit went to zero. Oh my god.
Shout out GCR.
Yeah, shout out GCR.
Who's your on-chain counter signal?
Damn, I don't have an on-chain counter signal. So I don't really be tracking people like that. To be like, yo, if he's in, I'm not touching shit. I don't have one. I don't have one.
Hey, how much Solana have you sent to women this cycle? Like a cumulative number.
Way too much, bro. way too much.
How many figures?
Yo, a substantial amount. Bro. I've been in the clubs like, yo, you want some Solana? Like, yo, what you need? Like, yo, I swear I've been, yo, that for sure I've been, oh my God. So funny. All bad though. For sure, all bad though. Yo,
when that shit goes to 1,000, you're gonna be tracking this much.
Yo, I'll be hitting them back like, hold
Yo,
on, wait,
you still got that?
You got that? Yo, you got that, right? You're right. Yo, do something with that.
What's the most popular coin you think will die this cycle?
Die?
Yeah.
You
can't say ETH.
I was gonna say something so funny. No, I'm not gonna say ETH. I think Cardano might die. A lot of those L1s are like in danger territory.
It's out of the top 10 too. You see that?
They're in danger territory now because now there's a lot of solid L1s with like communities and like teams and good tech. And like Colt is just not going to get you.
The cold, and it's not even colding anymore.
Yeah. That's the thing.
What do you think is the most slept on coin? It doesn't have to be like a low cap meme.
Actually, I think one of the most slept on coins right now is Metaplex on Solana. Yeah, Metaplex. They actually make a lot of money off of like all this meme coin shit that's popping off, and people think of them right now as like just NFTs, but they have like a lot of other standards that people use across the ecosystem. And I think, I don't want to get this wrong, but I think they're actually doing like token buybacks with like a portion of the revenues. I'm pretty sure. And that's a team that's been around on Solana for a minute. Like they're solid. And now I don't know, not a lot of people track them. There's a lot of like the Solana DeFi teams that I think are going to do well. Camino is also another good one. Camino is a smaller one that's good too, because a lot of people have been talking about Aave recently. But you got to think if Solana has another leg up, people continue to use Solana DeFi and like Solana apps. Right now, it's been just Solana memes that have ripped.
Facts.
But you haven't had a Solana DeFi summer, Solana DePen summer. All that really hasn't really popped. So those are two goals.
Who's the most underrated account on CT?
Most underrated. Damn, I got to think about this one. Most underrated account. Damn, who do I talk to a lot that's underrated?
And base 16Z is not an answer.
He's not underrated no more, bro. He's not underrated no more. That's the homie, but he's not underrated no more. Dang. I think Chumba, bro. Chumba's pretty underrated. I like Chumba a lot.
It's a tough one to put on the spot, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I was like, yo, I need to pull out my phone and check. Chumba, I think is good.
Fire. And this is the last one. It's not really rapid fire. Hella people ask me this. They're like, you gotta ask him this. I gotta ask him this. This cycle, I guess in general, do you think you're a hero or a villain?
Bro, I think I'm like 50-50 right now, honestly. I think I'll end on the hero side. That's what I'll say. But man, it's like the thing is though, like it's a difference between the perception and what I've like actually done. Cause like a lot of the celeb shit, people thought I launched every single one of those coins. So like if I had launched every single one of those coins, then yeah, you could argue I'm a villain. A lot of people think that. But yeah, shit is crazy. The difference between perception and reality now for me is nuts. People be sending me shit that just makes no sense, bro. Like there's some people who think I like still am working at a VC and like I'm plant.
Do you think Kobe tweeted that there's a bunch of influencers that are playing?
Do you believe
that?
I definitely think there are, bro. Because there's no way that people log onto CT so frequently every single day and only post negative things. How is that even?
You don't gotta call them out, but do you like have confirmed know who a few of them are?
I don't know. I don't know who any of them are. I wish I did. But then in my head, it's like there's no way that people are just like every single day. How? Like every single day. If you work in the industry or like know people in the industry, you either hate everybody or like
which is possible,
I guess. Or it's like you're literally trying to kill the entire thing. Yeah, and I think like also too, it's like the psyop shit is so strong on CT now. It's like you can't even really differentiate between.
No, you don't know what's real.
You can't differentiate between like CT people that are actually like psyop and shit, because there's hella people who do shit all the time, just crazy, and then actual people that are trying to cause discord. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah,
there's crazy. Like layers within layers within layers.
Yeah, and there's so many people on CT now too. It's like there's hella people.
I guess the final question to wrap on is because there's a lot of people watching this. Most of them have not made it. What is your advice to all these young crypto MFers out here grinding that have not made it yet? How do you make it this cycle?
I'll work everybody else. That's honestly how. It's like, so I would say like that Tron shit. That Tron shit is a great example. Where it's like, usually I would have been the first person buying shit on Tron. Last cycle, I would have been the first person buying shit on Tron. This cycle, I'm not. I'm like, not right now. I'm just not that person right now. But if I was like super in the trenches, where I think if you're trying to be literally running from 0 to whatever, 1,000x, 10,000x, you got to be the first to every type of spot like that. Because if you're the first to every type of spot like that, there's just no way you don't eventually hit for something like pretty big. I would say that, like being super active. I would say it's important to have a group of people that you work with, like a small group of people that you're doing research with in crypto that will see stuff when you don't see it. And then I'll say the second thing is make sure you're doing more research than the average stuff that you see on CT. What you see on CT is usually late from when you should be.
And research doesn't just mean scrolling the timeline.
Yeah, research doesn't mean scrolling the timeline. That means like being active on like teams pages, like being in Discords, being in like chats, like reaching out to people who you like don't know and trying to talk to them. That's what I did a lot. My like first cycle, I talked to a lot of, or tried to talk to as many people as possible I like didn't know, or like I was just on crypto, like CD. Nobody knew who I was. I'm just like interacting with stuff on the timeline, like talking to people, reply guiding people. Reply guide in crypto actually will get you a lot,
bro.
Will get you a lot.
That got me here. I'm not gonna lie. To this pod, by being a reply guy, I swear to God.
Bro, reply guy will get you a lot, because if you can show that you know what you're talking about on the timeline, in somebody's replies that like gets a ton of attention and eyes on them, and a lot of people just see it, it's like people are gonna find you. That's how I found a lot of CT accounts like that, bro. Like I found Rhino when he had like 50 followers.
Damn.
50.
I'm about to go put noties on.
Like I'm telling you, bro, and like people that are really good traders, like really good researchers, that nobody knows who they are, but they're just grinding in the trenches. And they're just like always on Twitter, like boom, replying to this, replying to this. I found a lot of people like that, because I remember people were doing that to me. Like people were boosting me. It's like I'm gonna do that for everybody I can too.
Hey, this is my actual last question, the personal one, selfishly, is especially when you're on your last cycle, first one to Tron, first one bridging to every new L1, first one in every new trend.
Yeah.
Like as deep in the trenches as you've ever been, how do you do that knowing you're in a bull market and then balance like personal relationships?
What's impossible? Bro, it's impossible. That's the thing. Like, one of the hardest things for me last cycle, and actually one of the reasons I lost money in 2022, was because I was so deep in the trenches and like so deep in looking at charts every single day for so many hours every single day. I wasn't doing things outside of like crypto and like in real life. And that's one of the things too that you got to make sure you do is like, even if you are super active, you got to make sure you're consistently like maintaining those relationships outside of crypto. And it's like, it doesn't have to be a ton of time, but you have to, something that's like recurring or something that you're continuously doing, so that when you think market is stopped or when you want to pull out or you hit your number or whatever else that you successfully do, you can actually turn it off. Because for me, I couldn't turn it off. I really couldn't turn it off. I sold pretty much the top in late 2021. But then, like, I still had Jewel, so I was still, like, paying attention to the market. And then I bought back, like, some stuff early 2022, ended up losing a lot that I shouldn't have lost.
Just because you were like...
Just because I was like, bro, I gotta trade. Like, I gotta do something. I couldn't just be like, yo, I'm gonna chill. I remember I was literally, I went to the Eagles, Tampa Bay playoff game in January. And I was like, I didn't want to pull out of the market because I just thought I was so right that shit was gonna go up. I didn't even take my shit with me, bro. Like, I didn't even take my ledger. I just left hella wallets. I was like, oh, I'm right. I'm gonna be right again. I'm gonna just make money. And I went to Tampa.
Oh, you went to
Tampa, left here, and I'm like, while I was down there for whatever 3-4 days, shit just like crashed. I forget, it's end of January. You can look at the chart, but hella on-chain shit just crashed. I couldn't even sell.
You couldn't even sell?
Couldn't even do anything. Because I literally just couldn't like unplug from the fucking Matrix crypto shit. And I wanted to do other shit. Like, I wanted to go to the game. I'm like, bro, I just made all this money. I got to spend it on something. Like, I'm going to the game. I took my boy to the game, too. Like, took my boy to the playoff game. And we got smoked, by the way. We got smoked by the Buccaneers that year. But yeah, that's the thing. You gotta have some sort of balance. Like, it's good to obviously be more active.
Hey, but the counter would be you had no balance and you still made it.
Yeah, but I mean, I would have had more bread to Barcelona end of the year. That's why you having friends is important though. It's you can be unplugged and everybody else is plugged in. Yeah. And then it's like when they need to unplug, then everybody else plugged in. It's like, yo, if something that you really are about to miss, you can be like, yo, you need to pay attention to this. But yeah, don't get fully sucked into the Matrix, bro. Because that will fuck you up.
Ansem, bro, it was a fucking banger.
Yo, appreciate you, bro.
Thank you all so much for pulling up. Thank you all so much for supporting. I'll catch you when I catch you. I'll see you when I see you. Have a great rest of your day. Love you, motherfuckers.
We're back.
Peace.